Mike in the Night.
So join us in the chat room. Join us in the chat room. You see us talking here, then through the door. 'Cause now we're planning to hit them streets. Mike in the night room. Oh, Mike in the night room. Read a real life, feel as you read. Read a real life, feel as you read. Mike, don't worry about a thing. Voice of the Commonwealth, don't you worry about a thing. Around the block, we'll keep on talking. Mike will be the one to do the talking.
I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you're watching this transmission. Whether you're watching us from your condo in the sky to your cabin in the woods, or your tent in the woods, or your bug out location, or just couch surfing, or maybe on a road trip or relaxing in your lazy boy. People of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. It's 3 a.m. and something's moving you. So crack open a window, sit back, relax, get some tea or coffee, because you're tuned in to Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth. Hashtag Mike in the Night. Track by Robbie.co.New Zealand. Today's special. Let's get some callers in. I want to get some callers in today on Mike in the Night. So sit back, crack open that window, folks, because it's really nice outside. Get some fresh air and let it flow. Let the night flow. Maybe light up a nice fireplace if it's cold where you are. Heck, maybe sit out in the balcony. Put this on the Bluetooth speaker. So anyways, lots on the go right now, guys. Doing some home renos. Finally got contractors in the house from 2 years ago. Finally showed up to do some work. And it's been really busy. It's been really, really busy. You know, juggling the shop, business, trading stock. It's been a hell of a week in the markets. And what else is going on? All kinds. Oh, yeah. It's Mike in the Night. Guys, all right, we're going to get some first-time callers. Let's just throw out a channel disclaimer out there. Disclaimer, we do not offer investment advice or medical advice. We are opinion-driven, and we do not know anything, and we can't even read. This video should not be viewed by anyone ever. So you've got your warning. You should not be watching this. But it's probably late in the morning where you are. Who cares? Do a quick channel plug, and we are going to jump into current affairs, and we're going to try and see if we can get some callers to come in, because we need somebody to call in. We need some callers. We need some first-time callers, hopefully. If not, we could get a couple of people here and there from our local regulars to call in. We got about 94 to 100 local regulars that call into the show, and it'll be good to hear some new voices out there. All right, let's go here. Let's get a channel plug going on here. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, be part of the channel, and don't forget to set your subscriptions, not subscriptions, set your reminders for Mike in the Night next week. There it is, next week, Mike in the Night, The Cloud of Ruin. That's next week's show. Don't forget to set your reminders. And we got Teespring. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook. I sent this thing out and nobody saw it, and I got 114,000 followers. And Instagram, guys, send me your show tips on Instagram. Instagram is the only platform that's not blocking people's messages. There you go. The Lady Lacey Show is asking, how do you call in? Just add me on Skype, Mike Martins 1980 on Skype. Mike Martins 1980, and we could plug you onto the show. Ralphie.co.New Zealand, music from him. Oh, wow, Mike loves Ralphie.co. There it is right there. All kinds of cool stuff on Ralphie.co.New Zealand. And what happened to my art by Dano? Why isn't... there it is. And art by Dano. Don't forget to check out Dano. Artbydano.net. Artbydano.net. Not your typical art. Lots of cool stuff. Tell them that Mike sent you. Oh, yeah. People of the night. Welcome to Mike in the Night. I'm trying to get my soundboard working here. I don't know what's been happening, folks, But I've been happening, like, let's do this here. I'm going to try and open up a page. I get this ring of death, and it just doesn't open anything a few minutes before the show. And I'm like, oh my God, is my internet down? What is going on? I don't want to ruin tonight's show because I was so hyped and ready for tonight's show. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope this thing doesn't fall apart last minute. So let's go to Donald Trump soundboard. Let's see if it opens up. Yeah, it's opening now. Man, I was having a really, really tough time opening anything on Google, and I don't know why it was so slow. But I don't know if the cookies got deleted or something got deleted or what. But yeah, it's doing this. See, guys, look. I'm not making this up. Look, this is crazy. Watch what it's doing. Take a look at this, guys. Watch this. It just sits there. It won't open. Like, I'm trying to open pages tonight, and I'm getting a really tough time, like, opening anything. I don't know if it's Google. I don't think it's my internet because I wouldn't be streaming with you guys right now. But something's weird. If there's something on your internet, if there's something strange on your internet, please go ahead and let me know here on the show and tell me where you are. So the Lady Lacey show says I have to get Skype. Yeah, everyone, guys, if you have an Android, you have Skype. Your computer has Skype. Everything now comes with Skype. So anyways, okay, let's jump into some current affairs, and then we're going to roll into our first caller. So, okay, guys, this is what we're covering here tonight. It's kind of important. So here it is. We got our earthquake tracker on. We got reported an earthquake about an hour ago, magnitude 5.2 in Iceland. So Iceland's reporting a couple of hundred earthquakes every hour or so. A swarm of 20,000 earthquakes has rocked Iceland the past 10 days, and it could spark a volcanic eruption. So there you go, climate change. I don't know. What can we do to fix this? We got to get Greta Thunberg on the Greta Thunberg? I forgot. I don't even pronounce her name. Gunberg or something? We got to get her on the phone to ask her, what do we do with this? We need to find out what the heck is going on here with these 20,000 earthquakes. And maybe if I stop chewing gum, these earthquakes might go away to limit my carbon footprint, right? So I think that's important. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to article scan here. Okay, we got that. And we got... That's all I could open. I try to open pages, guys. And I just can't... Okay, let's try and open some news here. Watch this. And I get nothing. Okay, it's going, it's working. I'm not sure if the Google search engine is down. There it goes, it won't open the page. Okay, let's try and open this page here, Wikipedia. Nothing. Nada. Niente. Nothing. So, yeah, I was going to cover the New Zealand earthquakes, but I cannot open the page. So I'm getting major. So let's type in and watch New Zealand earthquakes. Okay. Okay, we're getting something here. We're getting some pages are opening and some aren't. Okay, so there it is. New Zealand earthquakes. So let's keep this one on. This is 978 kilometers from Nuku'alofa, Tonga. So there it is. There's from Tonga. Affected country, New Zealand. So they are getting one March. They had one March 6th. That was an aftershock. So at 4 and then 6 p.m. No, 4 and 5 p.m. And then 5 and... Oh, they've had twice. Right off the coast of Auckland right here, man. So there it is. Right off the coast of Auckland. Let's go to article scan so you guys can see that better. There it is. Well, not off the coast of Auckland, but by Gisborne up here. So, okay, then they have they have all over the place. Never mind. They did have one there. So they're having them all over the place. So there it is, guys. Let's go into the news and see what they're telling us. New Zealand takes the hills as powerful earthquake triggers tsunami waves. Tsunami risk for BC assessed of large earthquake in New Zealand. So they had a tsunami warning in effect in my province because of what was happening in New Zealand. Multiple earthquakes off the coast of New Zealand. In hours, tsunami warning issued. Powerful quake hits New Zealand, prompting evacuations. So there it is right there. Let's see if we could get a little bit of video here that we could steal from these guys here. Let's see if we could... So it looks like people, oh, I see the shaking, yeah. A little bit of shaking there. Oh, yeah, the guy's windows are shaking too. So that's what Canadian news got. Let's see if they got anything better here coming out of, so they got a lot of shaking going on. Whole lot of shaking going on. So New Zealand takes to the hills. There it is. These are the two affected areas, Auckland and Gisborne. So let's get somebody on the channel here immediately from New Zealand. Let's see if we can get Craig on. Craig is in New Zealand. Come on. He's always watching the show down in New Zealand. Let's see if we can get him on the phone and tell us what the hell is going on down there. Is this some sort of weather control program? Is this something? Because you're getting earthquakes in Iceland, and I had a lot of people message me over in Iceland. I had a lot of people message me that watch Mike in the Night in Iceland, and they were telling me, they're like, hey, Mike, we're getting earthquakes here like crazy. And I've got, I think, like 40 emails from people living in Iceland, and I've got maybe 40 to 50 Skype messages from people messaging me from Iceland. So there it is, Reykjavik. This is Reykjavík that got hit, and they got hit with 20,000 earthquakes. So we got to get maybe the Raven on the show later to ask us, why are they getting hit with 20,000 earthquakes? There is a reason why, and the Raven is the only person that might know the answer to this. All right, let's go over some headlines here in the news. So let's go over some headlines. What are they telling us here? Senate passes 1.9 trillion stimulus package. Here are the differences from the House version. So there's some serious money being fed into the American economy system, and they're just going to start lending and giving out money at the cheapest, most inexpensive way they can, and creating more debt to pay more debt. And that's what's happening right now. And there it is. The House plans to vote Tuesday on a Senate-passed bill. According to the House Majority Leader, the question, however, was whether the Squad and the other House progressives are going to take the exclusion of the $15 minimum wage hike sitting down. So you're going to see, guys, a lot of stuff happening with automated workforces. Like the other day, I tried to call in to ask a question about something in the internet. I wasn't sure what was going on, and I had to talk to robots the whole time to figure out what to do until I begged them. There has to be an option to say, would you like to pay $20 to speak to somebody right now? I would pay the $20. I wouldn't go through 3 hours, 4 hours of going through circles to just try to get some discussion in. You know what I'm saying? Just to try to get some sort of discussion on a matter I'm having, right? That's how bad it's gotten with customer service. The other day on eBay, I had a major issue with a major item I sold, very expensive item, and the person wanted me to give him a massive deduction on the price, and I'm like, no, mail it back. I'll take it back. I'll give you back a refund. And let me tell you something. What a nightmare. Oh, because you're in Canada, we can't do this, and because you're living in Canada, we can't do this. I'm like, how do I get my stuff back? So it's an absolute disaster. All right, we got people rolling into the comments. We got David B saying it is underground nuclear tests generate earthquake or trigger earthquakes. Papa Piss is saying earthquakes are electromagnetic response to decadal oscillal waves. And then we got Anaki saying northern New South Wales has been put on tsunami alert. All the surfers will be heading up there. Woo! Let us know if you're going surfing up there. So there it is. Senate is passing a bill that's going to cause major issues in the long run. What they're doing is just kicking the can down the road to the neighbor's house, and yeah, you guys catch my drift here, right? Okay, what do we got going on here? Jack Dorsey is auctioning his first tweet ever as an NFT, and now it's worth over $2 million. No, 2 billion. Is that 2 billion? Just setting up my Twitter. Okay. Iranian militia group claims they have active cells in Washington, D.C., says report. Profiteering off poverty. The side of Baltimore the media won't show you. You know, a lot of people don't know what's been happening in cities. Like, everyone sees Detroit front and center, but no one ever gets to see Baltimore. And let me tell you, things in Baltimore, they ain't good right now. They got a lot of parts of the city that's completely run down and completely abandoned. And a lot of... there's a video here on YouTube for it. The side of Baltimore the media don't want you to know. There's a lot of cities like that are hinging towards bankruptcy and having a really tough time, So here it is. Look at this one. New York exodus sparks buying frenzy in Greenwich mansions. So New York billionaires suddenly realize their hometown has gone back in time to the 1970s. So both crime and taxes, and it's finally time to get the hell out. So people are going to other areas and paying the same price that probably this thing costs. Where did that house go? That mansion there, probably for the price of a condo, you could buy something in Greenwich houses. So there it is. Is that the price of housing there, year over year change? So you could buy a nice mansion in some other parts of the state for almost next to nothing. What else we got going on? We got to RT. What are the Russians reporting? Biden says first stimulus check will be mailed this month after Senate passes bumper virus bill. Oh, I hope the mailing system isn't as bad when they mail the checks out like they mailed out those voting ballots, or those ballots, mail-in ballots. Yeah. Morgan Davies in the House is saying he never wants to go to Baltimore. Oh, why? Isn't that where Edgar Allan Poe used to live? In Baltimore? I think that's where he used to live. All right. I'm not getting any word here on Craig. I hope he marked himself safe from the earthquake. Let's get Tristan on. His YouTube channel's out of YouTube prison. I'm thinking people are having problems with their internet. Because right now in New Zealand, something's happening because no one's internet's working there. They're showing all offline. Huh. That's interesting. So let's see if we can get somebody on New Zealand on. Then Ralphie's not here. Ralphie's not here. Craig's not here. Tristan's not here. All our New Zealand regulars are not in the house. And they're not in the comments. Huh. Is anyone else in New Zealand in the comments that could comment? Interesting. So who do we got in the comments? We got Margie in the comments. We got Mr. Wright in the comments. Political foolishness. I haven't seen political foolishness in a while. Tig Nim in the house. Yeah, we got everybody rolling around in the house tonight on Mike in the Night. All right, let's get someone to unload on us. Unload their feelings. Tell us how you feel. Tell us what you're up to. Anybody, first-time callers. Anybody wants to first-time call into the show, please. We had somebody that wanted to call us. She said, how do I call into the show? Let me see if I have anyone trying to ask me. Anyone trying to add me on Skype. Nope. Who do we have here? Oh, we got Brother Leaf. Okay, we got Tristan calling back. Yo, T, how's it going out there, buddy?
Hey, Mike, I'm doing good, thanks.
Well, I'm calling to touch base with you because there was a couple of major earthquakes there in the last few days or so.
Yeah, there were some big earthquakes, although where I am in the country, I did not feel anything.
Okay.
People from overseas messaged me, and I don't watch a lot of the news, and they told me there was earthquakes going on. So, yeah, it was all good where I was. But other people I've spoken to did feel it. The ones who are closer to the sea, they felt some earthquakes.
Interesting. Okay, so they put everyone on a tsunami warning. Everyone got pretty much. They said people were running to the hills. I guess it's not as bad as the media is making it out to be, right?
Yeah, I think so. But I think they normally, when they have those big earthquakes, they play it on the safe side and get people to move to higher ground, and there's a national tsunami warning system, and they recommend people to get away from the sea level if you're close to the sea level.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but where I am, I'm inland and at elevation, so we never got any of that.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask. So, how does it feel? How do you feel to be out of Facebook prison?
It feels good. It
No,
feels
not
good
Facebook.
that
YouTube prison.
Yeah, it feels good that I'm back and able to kind of share content, and yeah, and it was kind of interesting that I was suspended for the 7 days right on the evening that Auckland went into their hard lockdown for 7 days. Was right on the evening that they pulled me off for 7 days. So yeah, so it's good to be sharing, but it's yeah, there's a lot of censorship and that type of thing going on, and if you go against what the WHO, World Health Organization, is saying, all your local governments, that goes against YouTube policies, which kind of shows that YouTube is a fairly controlled platform.
Everything's controlled.
Yeah.
Everything's controlled. I'm working. You know what I'm going to do, T, is I'm working on actually building a radio station, but within my own server.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
And then have my own server and my own access to the server, so that so people could be watching stuff and all that kind of stuff, and listening and listening in anytime. Oh, we could see you, man.
Oh, okay, all good. I think I'm on audio only, but there we go. Yeah.
Wait, you're looking all red today, man.
Yeah, I'm in red today. Autumn's here. It's getting a bit colder.
Okay. So
would it be similar to what Ralphie is doing, ralphie.co.nz?
Yeah.
Because he's got a server in that radio station as well.
It's going to end soon. That's the problem.
Really? Why
Yeah,
is it
I spoke to him the other day. He told me it's going to end on the 20th because they're asking a lot of money to keep it going. So I thought to myself, yeah. So you see what I'm thinking here. Just get a server. Everybody could add to it, and we could all add to it. And we could go from there and then start upgrading it as I go, as I need more server space, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds good. Then yeah, kind of like a user pays if you're using the service. You pay for some of the costs involved.
Yeah, the equipment and stuff, and get it running 24/7. You know.
Yeah. And how are things in Canada? Are there what's your kind of lockdowns in the cities and that sort of thing at the moment?
They're still pulling this. They're still spinning this mail-in ballot thing they're trying to do. So because we have a 2-year gap between the 2.5-year gap between the American election, they're trying to spin this. Let's get a snap election here in Canada and then do mail-in ballots.
Yeah. And now that America's opening back up. I think I saw a video you did. I think there's 11. Did you say 11 states are opening back up? And
well, now it's like 22.
Oh wow! Oh
yeah,
that's so good to hear.
Well, that's bad for Canada, and now the UK Prime Minister, the mayor of England is saying that he's demanding mail-in ballot votes too, because the Brazil variant and the Swahili variant now is there.
the Mufasa variant.
Yes, the Mufasa variant has arrived in England, so they have to figure something out.
Oh yeah. It's an IQ test, isn't it, really? It's an IQ test that people are still buying these sorts of things that are coming along, these variants, and allowing governments to, overreach and control the free people of their countries.
Okay. Yeah. We got Margie O asking, Mike Martins, whatever happened to that crazy Russian you had on? Well, that guy got arrested at the Russian border for he's being held right now, but he's being charged with spying or espionage. Anyways, yeah.
Who's the crazy Russian?
It's this
Did you
guy I
just
had
have
on the
someone-
channel a few times that used to live in Lepinranta, and he used to live on the St. Petersburg border of Russia. And they were setting up these towers and equipment there on a Mike in the Night. So he called this live when he was in Russia, and it was like early in the morning there, of course, like 3 a.m. And he was along the border looking at things for us about these big towers with sound waves they were putting up along the border there. Yeah.
Hey, also, Mike, as I just mentioned, the World Health Organization controls the kind of health policies of YouTube. And I've done videos on that Gavi, the Bill Gates funded organization, the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunology. They influence the World Health Organization. So actually, Bill Gates decides the health guidelines and policies that are allowed to be spoken about on YouTube. So,
but that makes absolute zero sense. That makes absolute zero sense because what does he know? Like, was he sent by God or something, and we don't know that?
He could be self-ordained. He could be a self-ordained saint.
But he still can't do 10 push-ups.
We never gave him his sainthood. We never canonized them.
I don't know what's going to happen. I honestly don't know what's going to happen. This is getting so... And I asked a question on the channel, so we're going to go over the channel questions that I asked over the week. And I asked people some questions here, and let's go over them really quick here while we have Tristan on the line with us. Let's go to the YouTube channel. Oh, God. I'm having a major issue here. Tristan, I'm having a major issue. I can't open anything.
Wow.
I'm not sure why. But every time I try to open something, it just sits in wheels. It just wheels and wheels and wheels.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. It's not my I couldn't. If it's my internet, I couldn't be streaming, which I am.
Yeah. Hey, I had one thing I wanted to mention to you and your audience. You cover a lot about the housing unaffordability crisis in the Commonwealth and coming to America, California, as you call it.
Yeah.
I did an interview with a woman, Antoinette James, who's an published author about UN Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030. And she was saying that they have these things called the Sustainable Development Goals, which are all part of the Communist UN agenda and the World Health Organization agenda. And part of that agenda now 2030, because it's 2021 now, is that home ownership, private home ownership for common average people like you and I is considered an unsustainable activity. That having land and a house for a person is considered an unsustainable activity. And I'm just wondering if there's some sort of correlation. I'm going to be interviewing this author again between we're in a recession, things are crashing, but housing is just going higher and higher.
And so is food?
So is food.
And fuel.
And fuel. The cost of living is becoming huge. And part of this thing I've heard is that when it becomes so unsustainable, then they will be able to offer these cheap government. I heard you on one of your previous shows, someone was talking about in New York, they were turning vacant office space and empty space into
and strip malls. And
strip malls into emergency housing.
Right.
That is part of that type of thing. Fits right into Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, where they can move everyone into the cities with these universal basic incomes and these small government cubicle apartment houses and then everyone's kind of in a more monitored, controlled city environment. So I just thought I'd put that out there. Your audience may know more about it than me, but it just seems so unusual that the drivers should not be there for the housing price increase. But we just had a house sell in my little town, 27,000 people, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and an average street for 850 large. 850 large.
That's a lot of cake.
That's almost the whole birthday cake at my birthday.
Wow, 850 large for a modest, just average
3-bed.
Yeah, nothing. We're not talking about we're not talking about Wayne Manor. We're not talking about a plantation. We're not talking about the Taj Mahal. We're talking about just an average family dwelling. Nothing fantastic.
Yeah, in an average street in a small town, and the wages. It's like that the average wage to house prices, it's in the teens. It's like 12, 13 times for a average house price compared to the average median income. So it's the disparity. It's so unaffordable. The housing crisis is huge in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not good. It's not good. I have a friend. I'm gonna keep everyone updated on the channel. I have a friend who watches the channel, who's messaged me quite a few times, even mailed me stuff, and he left a decent part of New York, sold his house, his mom's house. His mom passed away. He's been living in it for a while, and then he sold his mom's house, and he bought a 8-bedroom, 4 or 5 bath plantation in southern Alabama for $230,000.
Oh,
he's gonna show me photos of it. Yeah, it's on 14 acres.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. I think it was a tobacco, or it was, I don't know what kind of, I think it was a peach or tobacco plantation.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that sounds amazing.
He's gonna keep me in the loop and let me know what's going on. He has to go down there and sign a few more papers. They already saw the property twice, so he's gonna go back down. $230,000. They wanted $290,000. He talked them down to $230,000.
Yeah, in New Zealand, they have their price, and then it goes. They're out there going above what the asking price.
So how much would a plantation cost there? Let's say like a tobacco plantation or a lemon plantation.
It depends where you buy it. Farmland is still, if you buy in a remote area, we are so underpopulated in New Zealand. There is so much free land. You drive around my area. There's land. And in Japan, with a similar land mass, they have 120 million, and we've got 5 million.
Ooh.
And there's still green space in Japan when I was there.
Ooh. So
what would it cost? Yeah, for an acre of land, you're probably paying around, 150 to 200,000 for an acre of farmland now.
Ooh.
Something like that. Just don't quote me, but it's getting expensive now for land.
That's pretty pricey. Because back 15, 20 years ago, you could pick up an acre for like $16,000.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you could buy. Even a few years ago, I was looking at an acre of land, a nice acre with some trees and rolling, and that was 150,000 for an acre.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now that same land is 350, 400. It's all right. And how are your renovations going on your house?
I don't even. Half the house is gutted right out, and
oh wow,
yeah, they gotta do some replace some rot, and it's a nightmare. And that I gotta go pick up some insulation tomorrow, and then they're gonna vapor barrier everything, and they're gonna soundproof the ceiling so you don't hear all the noise downstairs. There's a lot of work that's being done here, but it's worth it because I got my house for like $260. So
yeah,
like 5 years ago.
Yeah. And it's interesting how you were saying that your hand you paid $260, and now did you say it's the valuation is in the
533?
Yeah. So even moving out of the centers, like I'm out of a center, you're well out of a center. but those prices are now in the more rural areas. Soon there'll be nowhere to go to get away from the excessive house prices.
Exactly. And that's what I'm afraid of, because a lot of the professionals, they're just going to like Florida, Alabama. They're going to South Carolina. They're going to Georgia. They're going to warmer, less paying states, but a lot of them are work-free states, so they pay less taxes and they don't get taxed on their labor.
Okay.
So it's a little bit
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, these people in the states watching, they don't know. They have no idea how much we pay in taxes in the Commonwealth. It's horrendous.
Yeah, they've got it good over there.
They have no idea.
Their food, their fuel, and their housing is still how it was here 10 years ago, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, and next time I call, you better give me the heads up if I think I'm hitting audio only.
Oh no, we didn't see you. I didn't see you at the beginning. I was seeing Sky, but I didn't have it. I didn't show you. I just heard your audio, and then you showed your face. You showed your face, and then I put you on.
All good.
Yeah. So don't worry. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, Tristan's back, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to him, and I'll plug your channel. Thanks, Tristan, so much for coming on such short notice and giving us an update on everything.
Yeah. Hey, and a big thank you to all of your audience. I know after the last mic of the night, I got quite a few people who subbed from your channel. So a big appreciation to everyone who did that, and thanks for helping support my freedom of speech and expression.
No problem, Tristan. Have a good night, and God bless you.
God bless, brother.
Thank you. All right, guys, that is Tristan. So let me. It's good. See, I'm getting feedback from other channels that we are kind of spreading the love. So let me see. Okay, did this thing open my YouTube? There it is. It takes a half a year to open YouTube now. I'm not sure if I should reboot my computer or it needs an update. I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know. Let's see if I got unsubscribed, because I notice sometimes when somebody goes 7 days without posting something, or they get suspended from YouTube, or they get shut down for a week or two, what happens is they lose a lot of subscribers. There it is. I saw his last video. I was watching his video today. Okay, guys, here it is. Green Tea, Freedom and Truth. Don't forget to subscribe to him. I'm going to give you the link here in. Go over there and subscribe right now. He puts up some good stuff. So it's very good to have collaboration with people in New Zealand. That's why we've been doing Commonwealth on this channel since 2012. Because we need to know what's happening in New Zealand, right? You got to connect the dots. What's happening in Australia, the United Kingdom, and Canada, and even Amerifornia now. Amerifornia. Right now. Texas, I got an email from Joshua, or Josh Berry, living in Houston. He's saying it's turning into Texifornia. He messaged me telling me it was Texifornia. All right, let's get our first time caller in. Okay, we have Devin. Okay, let's call Scotty. Okay, let's see if Scotty picks up the phone. Scotty.
My brother.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. Doing well.
All right, Scotty. Thanks, and welcome to Bike of the Night. All right, what's going on, buddy? What's on your mind?
Well, I got an angle here to look at this.
Okay.
Everybody's talking about this whole Klaus Schwab part where he says, you will own nothing and you'll be happy.
Right.
So I have an angle on this. So I live in Calgary. I bought here, I moved here from Toronto in 2020, March, right before the lockdown. And I bought a house. And like, I just bought a modest house, like about 2,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms. Like, it's just a typical family home with a garage, right?
That same house in Vancouver is $2.7 million.
I know. I feel you. So just recently, a week ago, a house across the street from me sold. It sold for $70,000 more than what I bought my house. Just like 10 months ago, right?
That's a huge...
Which I think is insane.
Right. And
go ahead.
I was going to ask, did you watch that that little video I did was 8 minutes long about how much money you need to live in the major cities.
Yes.
And Vancouver, you need to make a comfortable 260 or 240,000 a year, and that's not pesos.
Really?
Yeah, it's a few videos back. You'll see how much do I need to make to live in Canadian cities, and Vancouver's 260. I think Toronto was 180. Victoria was like 190 a year. That's how much money you need to make to live. And the Calgary was there, but it was in the middle of the city.
It's pretty affordable here, actually. Here in Edmonton are both pretty affordable, and Saskatoon and Regina are as well.
Mm-hmm.
So my angle on this is, I just was thinking the other day, I'm thinking, okay, so they keep dropping interest rates, and mortgage rates keep going down and down and down and down. And it got me thinking, so you'll own everything, you'll own nothing, and you'll be happy. So what happens if they drive interest rates down, and inflation keeps going up, 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 and these houses just keep going insane? So you get locked into a house, and all of a sudden they just flip the switch, and interest rates start rising. And then, everybody hits their 5-year term in Canada, and you're up for renewal, right? Because most people go for a locked-in rate.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the going rate is about 0.99, I think is the best you can get, probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. HSBC.
Yeah. So all of a sudden it flips, and we start creeping up. Say we get into the 4s and 5s. I mean, most of these people that are hanging on by a thread in Toronto and Vancouver are going to lose their homes for sure.
1 trillion %. But let me add something in there, Scotty. We got a little bit of an issue happening south of the border right now in the United States of America. And if people like, I'm an investor, and I've been noticing what's been happening in the bond markets, and that's going to cause, or it's going to drive interest rates to start rising. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
And if interest rates start to rise and Canada decides not to and continues to print more money and flood the market with crap and cheap money, what's going to happen is, I have this bad feeling that we're going to see a 50-cent dollar.
We're going to become Venezuela.
Venezuela. Yeah, I did a video 2 years ago, the Great Canadian Peso, where I discussed that we will start dropping zeros off or adding zeros to our currency.
That's unreal.
Yeah, we'll start adding zeros.
It's tough to say because we have a lot of influx of new Canadians moving here all the time and whatever. So, I mean, we always have new money coming in. But I just have a feeling that what they might keep doing is dropping interest rates, get everybody in, and then flip the switch on us. And then we lose everything. And then they're going to come in like vultures and buy all the stuff on pennies on the dollar.
Exactly.
We're going to become renters.
Exactly. There are these Chinese. There's a couple of Chinese barons that own, like, I know of one guy who owns like over like 3,800 condo complexes in Canada, and he owns like 2,000 in Australia. And what he's doing is he's just waiting to see when the markets start to dip and start to make a correction, and they're going to come in and with billions of dollars and buy up everything.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying there's people on the sidelines waiting, big vultures on the side waiting to buy everything once it gets to zero or goes to zero.
I just have a bad feeling about all this. Like, they're either going to do that or they're going to make property taxes and utilities so astronomical that nobody can afford it.
Exactly. And then remember that video that we discussed property taxes? And I kept asking from 2, 3, 4 years ago, how are these cities, if with the middle class leaving in mass droves, how are these cities going to pay for their infrastructure?
Exactly.
That's the problem we're in right now. We can't. We're damned if you do and damned if you don't. So right now you're in Alberta. You're comfortable. Are you working?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've never been busier.
Okay, so you're okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do for work, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm an HVAC, so sheet metal and gas fitting and air.
Okay, so you have a real job. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
Yeah, so you got a real job. That's good. That you'll always find employment. You don't like move to Argentina and do that. Move to Eastern Europe and do that. You know what I'm saying? There's no, So
I would have moved to North Carolina in a heartbeat a long time ago if I'd have been given the opportunity, but borders are closed for construction workers.
Well, you got to be careful because in North Carolina, that same house that you bought in Alberta, you could probably get it for $45,000.
Probably buy 3 or 4 of them.
With a pool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of that vision that I've been talking about, Amerifornia? Do you think now with the new president select in the United States, America will turn into California, where high unemployment, homelessness, cost of living is up, housing is out of control?
I could see that in certain states, but there's also a lot of Midwest states that wouldn't accept those kind of people that are coming from those liberal states. I don't mean to get political on you, but I think there's certain states that wouldn't accept those people there. So it's a possibility that prices might jump up a little bit, but I think that those liberal type people might not feel welcome there, so they may not stay.
Yes.
Right? It's an angle that I've been looking at too. I get what you're saying. There are certain states that are kind of teetering. I don't think Texas will put up with that. I really
Well,
don't.
Texas has been putting up with that, because I just got an email from a friend of mine there, just outside of Houston. And he's telling me it's turning into Amerifornia.
Yeah, like I said, it's just that.
Oh, Texifornia.
Yeah, Texifornia. It's so strong conservative there, but I mean that could be rural too. Maybe the cities have changed. Places like Tennessee, I could see maybe possibly flipping that way, but I have a hard time with places like South Carolina,
Alabama.
Alabama, places like that where I just don't think those people will fit in. So I don't think that'll jive. Nonetheless, I don't even know if those type of people would want to move to those places.
Then that's why it's an opportunity maybe for us to move there then.
Well, let's go.
Right on.
Yes.
All right, Scotty. Thanks for calling in and giving us an update. And let us know what's happening in your neck of the woods. And let us know if you're doing any foreclosure properties for the banks too, eh?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Absolutely.
You have a good one. And thanks for calling.
Yes. Take care, man.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right. We got Scotty on the show. Works in sheet metal, HVAC, and all kinds of... he's got a real job. See, guys like that don't have to worry. Like, they got a skilled trade. And, okay, Devin wants to call. All right, let's call Devin in the house. Let's get Devin on the phone. Turn on your Skype, Devin. Thank you, Papa Pist, for sending me $6. Papa Pist, thank you very much for the money. No, Devin. Devin is not answering the phone, people. All right, come and add me on Skype, Mike Martins 1980. If you're a first-time caller, come on the show. Give us a little bit of love. Tell us what's going on your neck of the woods. Let us know. Oh, Dorico messaged me. Funny thing is, read up on the Currency Act. I got slammed with this act. Yeah, I think Dorico's getting investigated by the Department of Treasury in the States. All right, we got somebody, Dave messaging me here. All right, who wants to come? First-time callers, Mike Martins, 1980. Add me on Skype. I think it's on the bottom of this teleprompter thing, this little thing going on the side here. You can see, welcome to Mike in the Night. Yeah, add me on Skype. Call in. Mike Martins, 1980. Let's see who else we got here. Well, let's get the Raven on in the meantime. I need to know what the heck is going on with these earthquakes. He's the only one that can answer that question and make sense of what the hell is going on.
Mike.
Hey, Raven, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
I'm just calling up. I just want to know what your take is on these. Let me just go to the article here so everyone knows what we're talking about. 20,000 earthquakes rocked Iceland in a week. So, I mean, are they testing something in the area? Is it just geological that's happening, or is Al Gore right?
Collapsing mines?
Huh?
Aren't they collapsing mines or something?
I don't know, dude.
Weren't they blowing up mines? Or some kind? Weren't they blowing something up underground?
No,
I don't know. Maybe I read something else.
Well, I got a message. Somebody messaged me the other day from the Icelandic Meteorological Office.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with information, because a lot of people watch Mike in the Night in Iceland. I've been, I don't know why, but it's nice, and and I get a lot of information from there, right? So, and New Zealand was hit with a pile of earthquakes too, and that's kind of interesting. Specific areas in New Zealand. So, do you think if we give Al Gore more money, these earthquakes will stop? Is this man-made?
I don't know. I think Japan had another one just a couple weeks ago or a week ago too. I don't know. I don't follow the earthquakes. I don't know. I know you're not a climate guy. I know you think it's a joke, but I'm on the fence with the climate, eh?
Dude, you get one good earthquake, just one good one. They'll block out the sun, and you'll see a mini ice age for the next 20 years. They'll keep everybody's climate change mouth shut forever.
You know, I don't know if an earthquake's gonna do that.
No. A
I
volcano.
would more be, yeah. I don't think that's. I would be more to think a meteor would do that.
Okay,
You know?
yeah, a meteor that would hit the ground in a specific part, if it hit the ocean, you have more of a tsunami action. But I think if it hits somewhere dry, desolate area, you put enough dust and crap into our ionosphere, could block out the sun for not 80% of the sun's rays for a good 10 to 15 years, depending on the width, the depth, the projectile, how it entered the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? How it broke up. It all adds up in the end. But what I'm saying is, yeah, you're right. A meteor could do that too.
I think it has in the past, probably.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah,
I
go
got
ahead.
a question for you.
for me or for the people watching?
For whoever. What's going on with the White House?
Yeah, you know what?
What's going on there?
I don't know. I might get God rules. I might just surprise call him and find out what's going on. There's all kinds of different Mickey Mouse things going on. I don't think, I'm going to tell you what I think. This is my opinion. I don't think the president has control of the military.
I don't even know if he's the president. I don't know what's going on. It's just... remember, you know what, back in 2019 we were right on the money. Like, we knew what was going on in every corner of the earth. It's too hard. There's too much. It's too confusing now. Can't figure it out.
So yeah, because in 2019 we were on the money. We were discussing things before they happened. Like, we would talk about them here, and a couple of weeks later it'd be news on the thing, and we were just predicting. We were just connecting the dots, right?
I think a lot of people on the internet are getting stuff from your channel, because I'm watching stuff and I'm like, hey, Matt, we said that exact same term on your channel. Like, it's like a lot of these channels are listening in, and all of a sudden they're adding stuff to their channel. I think they do that, eh?
They've been doing that for
I think
years.
They've
been
they
Raven.
plagiarize stuff.
They've been doing that for years. I've had people message me a video from somebody that was just recently posted, and then they're like, Mike, this matches your video, and they sent me a link to my video from that you did 3 years ago, and I checked. I'm like, yeah, and these people have millions of subscribers too.
You know what? They're looking for new content, and they don't got it. They're not creative enough to bring up the new content. You know, they can't. A lot of people can plagiarize what they read. You know, they can just spit it out, but you connect the dots and give us something new. You know, it's difficult, eh? To come up with that every week. You have to come up with that every week after week after. You know, it's hard to do. Very hard.
And then we got people on the ground. Like, we could call someone in New Zealand right now. We could call somebody in Australia right now. We could call somebody in Iceland right now. We could call somebody in Florida if we have to. We could call someone almost anywhere now with this channel.
Yeah, and you know what? That's why they keep your channel up. I think it's valuable. You got ears on the ground in every single country. It's very valuable, because there's certain I don't know even what to call them, but there are certain people listening to this channel and monitoring it. They monitor all channels. So for some reason this channel's still here. So
I know, it's
I think
weird.
it's because it's far reaching. I think you get the opinion of people in every single country, and you can gauge, the sentiment all over the world. Like, it's it's mostly negative, but they can gauge it. Where else do you see that?
That's true. The Commonwealth, English-speaking countries, and then I do a little bit on my Portuguese channel. I do some live streams on my Spanish channel too.
Yeah, I don't really catch those too often.
Well, that's fine. But when I do those, I'm reaching out to 400 million people that speak Spanish, right?
Yeah, if they're tuned in, I guess.
Right. But I could reach like everybody.
Technically,
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, there's a lot of channels, Raven. I get a lot of people saying, "Hey, this guy's taking your thing. Hey, this guy's talking about this. Hey, Mike, this guy's took your term and coin." Well, someone's going to coin Amerifornia in a couple of weeks. It'll be on someone's channel. And they'll get 2 million views, and everyone will say, "Wow, how did you predict that?" It's like we've been talking about it for the last 10 years here.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of scenarios that we talk about, and I see them on other channels, and I'm thinking, hey, wait a second. We were talking about that like 2 days ago. Why is this guy like saying the exact same things? I just find it odd sometimes. You'll hear somebody in your room chatting about stuff, and it's like, hey, wait a second. Because you come here to this room for a lot of different perspectives, right? And it also helps to connect the dots when you can hear other people's talk, right? Because, yeah, it's helpful. But I think people are grabbing a little bit off your channel sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever. Each to their own, eh?
It is what it is. I come on here, and we just talk about what we see happening, and let's look here. Look. Gigafactory demand leads the price of explosion in battery-grade lithium. Wow.
Yeah.
Red hot freight market sends used container ships values soaring. I invested in a container ship company like a few weeks ago. I got to check the stock. Yeah.
I just brought a train in. I just was on it. I just got off about an hour ago. But we're flowing. The goods are moving across the country like there's no slowdown there at all. There's more. There's a lot of container traffic, man. I can't believe how many container trains all coming from China. So it gives you an idea who's running on all cylinders, because we sure aren't. Mm-hmm. But you said to that previous caller, you said, oh, he was what was he, a gas HVAC? And you said, oh, you're a working man. You got a trade. You'll do all right. Mm-hmm. You have nothing to worry about. What exactly are you basing that on? That he has nothing to worry about?
Well, I don't say he has nothing to worry about, but if he's a skilled tradesman, right, and he knows his thing,
he probably has a better shot of someone that's not skilled. But I don't think we really have anything to base anything on of what's coming at us here. Who knows? I don't even know if I'll be working after this. Like you're going to see inflation this year. That's the big thing that I'm seeing all over now is the inflation, and you're seeing it now.
Well, we're in trouble in Canada because it looks like interest rates are going to go up in the U.S. very soon. And if they do go up, and if anyone's been paying attention, we're in trouble.
The 10-year, the pressure's on, yields are rising. So, like you said, what are they going to do? I watched a long interview today, and they just figured they're just going to, I don't want to say print, because they don't really actually print. They're going to create currency as much as they can. Stock market's probably going to boom. This is probably going to go for another year or two unless something happens. So I'm kind of planning on hoping that it goes another year so I can get some stuff sold. I want to sell off a bunch of collectible stuff. I want to kind of actually put effort in to batten down the hatches here, because the time's going to come where you're not going to have any more time to do that. That's what I'm going to focus on this year, is actually sell off the stuff that I don't want. And if I can time the market, I'll dump my last duplex too, which is going to be hard to time because, like that guy said, his property went up, $70,000? He liked to cross the street.
In 10 months.
Lenny Poo was telling me she just sold a house the other day. She said it's unbelievable. You've never seen anything like it. It's skyrocketing. That's hyperinflation. That's house inflation. That's right there. It's happening in the stocks. It's the higher the stock market goes, the less long-term earnings it's going to have. The smaller the earnings in the long run. So I think everything's hyperinflating. I know lumber is, man. Holy crap. I can't believe lumber. Lumber's out of control. You're looking at Well, some of the metals are, we know the ones that are suppressed, but
Mm-hmm.
everything, soy, like all those commodities, they're showing signs of massive inflation. I was reading that they're looking at food riots in emerging economies this year. They're going to be looking at food riots. Hey, real good job shutting down the economy, you idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you couldn't see those ramifications coming, I think the death count off of what these guys did is going to make COVID deaths look like a joke.
Mm-hmm. Like a walk
In the
park.
long run. Oh, it's and we're going to hold them accountable. Trudeau's going to be held accountable, and I'm going to be there. We're going to be there when we bring him outside of his little house there. He's going to be held accountable for every one of these dead people that from what they did here. They're all going to be held accountable. They're not getting a free ride. Anybody who had anything connected to this, and they're listening right now, even you people that are monitoring and all that are going to be held accountable because you're on the wrong side of the line. Your moral compass isn't pointing in the right direction. They know that. If you don't realize what's going on, you're either living under a rock, you're gullible, or you're stupid. There's three options for you right there.
All right, guys,
There
I'm
isn't a
going to
fourth
switch
one.
here to article scan. I'm going to show you guys some videos here from the channel. We're on the channel here. So here you go. From 5 years ago, we have, this is actually 5 because I haven't lived here in 5 years. Vancouver is now in a housing bubble. Couldn't retail stores survive because of the disappearing middle class? This is from 5 years ago. Empty homes in Vancouver, walking the streets. Let me see what else I have here from like that many years ago that tie into what's happening today. Look, Canadians can't afford to buy into their own housing market. This is from 5 years ago, Raven.
I know. It's you're going to see people in Canada priced out of groceries this year.
Oh, you said that.
I know.
You said that.
Yeah, and you know what? I see these old people, and I see people all the time looking in dumpster bins. Like they're just opening up the recycling bin, or they used to put their finger in the payphone to look for change, but they took all the payphones out.
Mm-hmm.
You like how they took all the payphones out of the 7-Elevens and the gas stations, and
Well, because they can't trace you.
Yeah, exactly. Little subtle changes, like putting LED streetlights in every street without talking to us about how harmful the effects of LED are. Little subtle changes.
Here it is. 5 years ago, ready? Canadian banks favor foreign home buyers. 5 years ago, Vancouver is now in a housing bubble. 5 years ago, death of retail by 2020. The death of the department store by 2020. Oh my God, it's right here from 5 years ago. The death of the retail store by 2020. Let me see what else we have here. Foreign buyers tax is working. Unaffordable cities is causing a brain drain. Get out of Sydney and Vancouver. Crazy markets. Hold on. I just want to see what we have here from this many years ago. Canadians, people forced into homelessness 5 years ago. Trends in the housing market from 5 years ago. I'm just trying to see if I could get anything, if I could find anything that's here, if there's anything here. Property tax hike coming across Canada. That's from 4 years ago, Raven. Property tax hike coming across Canada. Look at this. 4 years ago, young families leaving big cities. 4 years ago, Canada to take in 400 immigrants per year. Wow. Here it is.
I know we said this, but Mike, I know we said this back in March last year. People need to start buying some extra food, man, and putting it away.
Okay, are you ready for this, Raven? This is from 4 years ago. This is the title. It's right here. Everyone at home could verify this, that I'm showing it. Massive food shortage, prices up 830%. Food to skyrocket by 2021. This is from 4 years ago, Raven. It's right here. Food to skyrocket by 2021.
Who wrote that?
I did a video about it.
Oh, okay.
From 4 years ago. Food to skyrocket by 2021, 830%. Yeah.
Well, we have hyperinflation in pretty much everything. Watch your groceries, man. They're going to follow suit this summer. It's coming. groceries, the price of groceries, and like my mom always tells me, she goes shopping, she always looks at the price. She's a penny pincher. She always looks, oh, I can't believe how much this is and that. She goes, it's unbelievable. I think it's going to really take off this summer.
Look at this article. Look at this video I did from 4 years ago. Get out of Vancouver by 2018 or else. Chinese investors buying cheaper property. Goodbye middle class. And this is all 4 years ago. Wow. This channel is like a historic, like this. I'm telling you, if you go back to the history on this channel under videos and you click sort by oldest, and you get the oldest. Someone's got to take another channel out of respect for me, doing this for so many years. Another channel out of respect needs to go through some of my videos and kind of look at what I was talking about. But everyone's so proud to do that for somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
I go back.
No, somebody with a YouTube channel with a lot of subscribers say, hey, I want to talk about this guy. He doesn't have many subscribers, but he's been pumping out videos since 2012, and he's been talking about consistently about specific things. And let me type in here 2020. Let's see if we have from Mike and the Knights that discussed that with the Raven or anybody on the show. Retailers closing in Canada facing bankruptcy in 2020. This is before COVID. Housing disaster in 2015. This is from a while ago, and there no changes till 2020. I'm just trying to see if I could find something here, Raven. Like we're on Mike and the Night. Death of retail by 2020.
– 2019 was a good year.
Wow. Will the economy crash by 2020? 4 years ago. Wow. I'm sorry. I just can't believe. You're doing it for. Let's do 2021 on my channel. Holy crap. Over 50% of department stores and malls predicted to close by 2021.
Here, I'll make a prediction. See, we'll see in a few years.
Okay, go ahead.
7 billion people dead by 2025. How about that? You think you're going to move us into smart cities? I don't think so. They're going to pay us UBI for 7 billion people? Not a chance. Not a chance. 2030, you'll own nothing and be happy. Yeah.
So, yeah, Raven, explain to us, what do you like to put on your human flesh? Do you like a Tabasco sauce, or do you like...
Honestly, I've been buying tons of seasoning salt and floating the idea in my mind, hey, we might have to eat humans one day.
Soylent Green.
I'm predictive programming my own brain that I might have to at some point. Yeah. I couldn't do it, man. I don't think I could do it.
Well,
that movie a lot. That movie where they're in the Alps there. Where was it? That soccer
Alive.
Team? Alive. Yeah, I watched that years ago. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
They got a lot of trouble for that too. That people were really mean to them after for that.
Well, you got to remember that because it went against the religion. That's why.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So you sent me pictures of that Corvette. That car looks nice, dude.
Yeah, back. It's almost ready. The snow's melting. I'm outside with a hairdryer helping the snow melt. I just want to get that thing out, but I gotta wait.
Oh, dude, it was beautiful here today. I don't know if you saw my video, but it was gorgeous.
Yeah, I did actually. I saw that. The 5 reasons there.
Yeah, 5 reasons, 5 ways to fix Canada, right?
We're not fixing Canada.
Well, I'm saying if they want to start to fix the damn country. Once they raise interest rates, it's over.
Yeah, you know what? Everything's going to get worse and worse and worse because interest compounds. That's it. Einstein said the most destructive force in the universe is compound interest. We're in that trap. They're lying to us. It's an illusion. The whole thing's bullshit. Powell is lying every time he gets up to the podium. Janet Yellen's lying. They're all lying. They know the situation they're in, and they're not going to take care and comfort 7.8 billion people. We know that, we're running out of silver, we're running out of everything, uranium, we're running out of rare earth minerals, lumber, everything. We're running out of it. How do you fix that problem? Get rid of 7 billion people. There you go. We're all back to square one. It's all good. We're not gonna sit in the smart cities and collect UBI and sing Kumbaya.
Wait, we can't sing Kumbaya?
No, those days aren't coming. These guys are going to rip the Band-Aid off. How they're going to do it, I don't know. I haven't wrapped my mind around that. It's a hard one. Are they going to do it with the vaccines? Are they going to do it with some mutant strain? Something. And it's not going to be like, I was thinking about what you said about the war. You know what? Maybe there's a small war as a distraction to help. You know, it doesn't hurt to pile on more to take the economy down. It's all an alibi. COVID's an alibi. We all know that. Economy was finished long before COVID. So this is for the mass population. It doesn't really understand what's going on. So they're going to pile on COVID. It gives them a nice little alibi. Oh, we spent trillions fighting and trillions. Yeah, maybe they will throw a little more. I thought about that. You know, something to help. You know, distractions helps throw. So you might be right about that. I kind of thought about that for a while. It could be a little war, maybe in the Middle East, something that helps, or maybe Taiwan, something that helps.
Something's happening in Israel. From what reports I've been getting from people living in Israel, they're saying, Mike, there's something major happening in Israel, like major.
I don't know.
And I can't really talk about it until I get better.
Intel?
Yeah, I can't say I can't repeat what was told to me because I could get in a lot of trouble if it's not true. So
yeah,
and we don't offer medical advice here either. I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah.
All right. Look, article scan. Look at this. Listen to this. This is from 4 years ago. Are you ready for this video I made, Raven? Listen to this. Real estate double-digit correction needed. Market crash by 2021. And this is from 4 years ago. It says, I hope this is true. Housing prices are way out of control. Locals are being outbid and many are giving up and moving to smaller towns. And this is from 4 years ago.
Yeah, there's a transfer coming. You will own nothing. They know that. 08 was a little test run. They're going to bankrupt us all, take our houses. It's coming.
It's a coming.
They know it. They know. They know exactly what they're going to do. You could kind of figure it out, eh? You know, we're in a bad you got to use common sense. We're in a bad situation. We're running out of this and that. Ecosystems are collapsing. I know. How dare you? I know. You didn't want to hear that. But the planet, we're killing it, man. We're killing it. Like, you can't not look at that. So we're really treating the planet poorly. We're partying like it's 1984. We're all on our cell phones. We're all ordering pizzas and skip the dishes and nobody cares and put it on the credit card. Put it on the credit card. We're tapping our homes, you know, our ATM. We're using our houses as ATMs. We're tapping it all, jack it up, credit. Canada is I think one of the worst for household debt. I think we're number 2 or something.
No, we're number 1. Australia's number 2.
Yeah, okay. So we're at least we're number 1 at something.
Yeah. Anyways, we're actually number 1 because 85% of our GDP, Canadian debt, mortgage debt has surpassed as 80 is made up 85% of our GDP.
So the whole everybody in the West, it was an experiment gone wrong. And what did Maynard Keynes say? In the end, we're all dead anyway, you know. So this Keynesian experiment didn't work out. It's not working out. They know that. They put on they're going to fix things. Yeah, I know. We're going to, through growth. Yeah, we're going to have growth. Everything's going to be good again. We're going to pay off our debts. And I think our debts got away from us. Mm-hmm. So what do you do? How are you going to protect yourself now? When this comes, I got caught in a flash crash in 08. I lost a lot of money in the stock market, man. I'm not afraid to tell you that. I lost a lot of money. I lost all my RSPs, Chapter 11. I lost a ton of money, man. And it was a learning experience, I guess. You know, I didn't trade for 8 years after that. 8 years I stayed away from trading. And then I started to really look at what happened. And I had the binders on. And when you're too close to a market, you fail to see its folly. and I didn't see a housing collapse coming. So, well, now we have no excuses. We all see what's coming. We see it coming from all angles. How are you going to protect yourself? That's all I look at now. So I'm going to sell off everything that I don't need. I have a lot of collectibles and stuff to sell, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And just like, you know what? I was buying silver the other day at $41 an ounce.
You're paying over spot.
41 an ounce. I'm paying for silver. I bought 25 ounces, 26 ounces. Cost me, I think, 10.66. Yeah.
Wow. You're paying over spot.
41 an ounce. Yeah. 41 an ounce. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow. I don't care. I'm getting rid of that paper. I don't want it. I really don't want to be holding that. And you know what? When they do blow it up, and they are blowing it up right now, everything's going to hyperinflate, and that currency is going to go to zero. What are you going to price things in? Like, what was it? What's a Bitcoin going to be worth? Like, you can't say it's going to be worth like $50 or $10,000, or you can't use the dollar as a
reserve.
Well, no, you can't. You can't use it as an account. It's going to be gone. It's going to be done. It's going to revert back to zero. Its intrinsic value is zero, as Lord would say, right?
Okay, here, watch this article scan, guys. So there's another video from our channel here from 6 years ago. Food price prediction from 2015. Expensive food. Food prices in a sharp incline. It's going out of control. Gas goes down, but food production goes down. Transportation of food goes down. So why is food getting so expensive? So when the price of gas went down in 2015 and oil, why did food go up? You see what I'm saying? So, wow, there's all kinds of really good videos here from like 5-6 years ago on the channel, Raven.
Yeah. How are they going to hide the inflation in food? Look at oil. Oil's going crazy. Everything is going crazy, except for gold and silver, of course. But with the supply chains disintegrating, they get one variant that takes off in a port or bye supply chains. People are so worried about their wealth. You better be worried about what's in your fridge. I really think that people, that if you can afford to go and buy a little bit extra food, like some canned food, I really think it's never a bad idea. That would be my number one thing to tell people, is to put some water and food in your cupboards. And I'll tell you, man, if the shit goes south, you're going to be happy that you don't have to go out looking for it. And that's a total possibility. Like, look what happened last year with toilet paper and all that. And so what's the difference between last year and now? Well, now we have all of our other commodities hyperinflating. Everything is so much more. Like the problem, the pressure is a lot greater than last year. So we don't have the initial scare of COVID. We've all grown accustomed to it now, but it still doesn't mean that our supply chains are not disintegrating and all the stuff out there. And now we have mutant strains, but everything is hyperinflating.
What the hell are mutant strains, dude?
Whatever I don't know, whatever they want to call it. Variants, right?
What the hell's a variant?
You know what? I have put nothing past these guys. Nothing, man. I believe nothing they say. I put nothing past them. We probably haven't thought of what they're going to do next. What are they going to do next? Could you, like you said, a small war?
Well, they've already pulled the trigger on a pandemic. We predicted that before it happened.
Biden says if you take the mask off, you're acting like a Neanderthal. Okay, so we know Biden is in the New World Order. Oh yeah, he's pushing the masks big time. You got to keep people shut up and wearing the mask. We know that joke. So he's all for that. Trump was against it, but then Trump was there to divide the country, right? We had to get the vision. Look, we didn't learn anything from Germany. They spread their prejudices in Germany, and that's how they took him down. Prejudice. Right? That's taught. That's you're not born with that. That's taught. So
yeah, well, you're not programmed like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not programmed like that. So what are they? What's next? What are these guys going to do next? They got COVID to play with, right?
Right, COVID. They got COVID. And
they
again,
got
they're going
stimulus.
to mutate it. They're going to restrain it. They're going to rewash it. They're going to repackage it and
Something.
rebrand it.
Now they've also got Ebola, and they've got that other bird flu, fucking whatever it is, that kills 75%. Maybe they're going to mix the strain together. I don't know. I don't know. Mix it up like a salad. Here, throw this out. See how the sheep take this.
Yeah.
You know.
I just see them making fun of us. Is what it is. They're making fun of us. It's a smack in the face. And
Not really. We figure this out. We kill them. They know that. If we get concrete evidence, we kill them. And we will. You know, there's no two ifs, ands. Look, it's been done many times in history. Like what they've done, if they can, this is very critical for them. They have to have the best actors in place. Mm-hmm. Right down to Don Lemon on CNN, you know, Anderson Cooper, the best crisis actors. You see their eyes when they're talking about their stories and how their feelings, and they get right into it. What a joke. Whatever happened to reporting the news?
Yeah, whatever happened to... I feel sorry for all those people, with these journalistic intentions to go to college and go on an adventure overseas, report on what's happening, and let us know, and be the watchdog for society, and blah, blah, blah. And now all they are a bunch of, it's like they're everybody's cheese whiz. You know, spread it around. It's all cheese whiz. Just
Anderson
follow...
Cooper started in the CIA. Yeah, Cooper started in the CIA. He did a year with the CIA, yeah. Lots of those guys did back in the day anyway. But anyways, what are they going to cook up next? I don't know. Somebody knows. Somebody in the room knows. What are they going to cook up next?
Let me think. Okay.
Just
we pulled the trigger on a mass pandemic. It happened.
Yeah, we did.
The only thing I'm feeling right now...
petering off.
Okay,
the
here
pandemic's...
it is. Let me tell you two things I think is going to happen here. I hope you don't play this back to me a year later and say this is what you said and not what's happening. Very engineered breakdown in the food system, like a big one. Like I'm talking we got this happening, or this plant's down, or this thing, or a major wheat production for this, or we're going to have a bad harvest in the summer, or something's going to happen that's going to make food scarce. And it's going to you were right. We're going to be priced out of food. You were right about that.
Yeah, these guys were taking out the swine flu in China. They took 1 million pigs out, and in Vietnam and Indonesia, these guys were hitting the food sources just before COVID came. They were hitting the bird flu in Europe. You know, so you're probably going to see some of the livestock be taken out with some of the bird flu. They want to hit the food sources.
Well,
because
okay.
if they're going to rip the Band-Aid off, Mike, if they're going to rip the Band-Aid off, they're not only going to do it with variants, but with no food. I think that's and the variants and it's got to come from, you know what? It's got to come from the virus, and it's got to come from the vaccines. I don't know.
Let me give you another one, another situation, another scenario. Right now, there's a lot of political upheaval in India. There's millions of people in India taking to the streets, and I think the governments or the powers that play in India are going to harness that anger of millions of people, millions protesting, and they're going to direct it to China.
Well, that's in New Delhi. Yeah, they want to take
I think they're going to direct that anger to China, and I think that's how they're going to. That's how China is going to take better control of their Western colonies, or whatever you want to call it, in Western China, where people China took over after World War II. I think that India is going to harness that anger towards China, and I think China is going to go ahead and retaliate to that, because you know, to feed the Chinese army, I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars it is to feed the Chinese armed forces breakfast every morning. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, they're all connected. Modi and Xi Jinping are connected. They're connected through Visa, Bill Gates, Rothschild. They work together on certain little programs, like pulling the 500 rupee, 1,000 rupee. That was them, and so they're connected. These guys are connected. They're playing us for fools. Everything they do, I think, is just to play us for fools. Try and control 7.8 billion people. You know, you got to use fear. You have to. It's what Hitler did. It's what they're going to do. I know it's an easy way to just write off as an easy solution of why all this happens, because they're all connected. But I think in some way, through the central banks, these guys are connected.
They're not. There's not. There, as much as you may think there's a lot of divide still. There's a lot of they don't see eye to eye.
I believe that, yeah, is certain in certain areas of it, but I still think that you give me the money of a nation and I don't care who's in power, you know.
No, give me the banking of a nation. Shot Clips, thank you for sending me $2. He's saying truth is the new boogeyman, fake reality promoted. And that's it, people. There's major issues going on with that. Someone's asking you what you think about GameStop. I don't think you care about GameStop.
GameStop, you know what? I've watched quite a bit on it now, right off the start there, but I'm more interested in Wall Street Silver now. Like that all came up out of GameStop. It's I don't think, you know what? I don't think they saw GameStop coming. I don't think they saw those Reddit traders coming. I think that was out of left field. Truly, a lot of stuff I say is pre-planned in that, but I think that came out of left field. Those Reddit traders, I think
that's what the people on Wall Street do anyway. They organize meetings and they discuss what they're going to pump, what they're going to dump, what they're going to look at, what their potentials are. They do that too.
You know what? They've did full investigations on the big banks 3 different times. I think 01, 2004, 2012. I can't remember the times. I read an article now. You can't make this stuff up. They want to go after the people that were buying the SLV, the silver trusts. They want to go after the people from Reddit that organized together to monopolize buying of the silver shares and that. Well, you're not going after the banks for shorting and suppressing the price
and spoofing the silver and gold markets for the last 50 years and ruining people's lives through financial disparity.
But you're going to go after retail traders because you're saying they're trying to like corner the market. You can't, isn't that a slap in the face? You know, to anybody who buys silver?
Lately been a slap in the face. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything's been a slap in the face.
I spent a lot of time wondering what their next move is because you know what? You laid it all out, what they got going on so far right now. It's a hard one.
Okay, let's go to another prediction. So we did India focusing on China, turning its anger from the farmers towards China so they could, I guess, create what a coincidence that this happened all of a sudden and everything stopped in India and then now they're focused on something else, right? You got to remember that's a million, 2, 3, 4, 5 million souls protesting on a daily basis. Now, another pivot or another point or another thing that I could see happening geopolitically would be China, South China Sea. I think there might be
That's what they use. You know what? They use that South China Sea. Oh, the Russians are coming.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking realistically.
The South China Sea.
I'm talking about Taiwan.
That Taiwan maybe, but that South China Sea, the islands, that's their go-to. That's their go-to fear. Oh, we got to crank the thermostat up on fear. Ooh, South China Sea. We're going to have to send a battleship down there or aircraft carrier to the South China Sea. That's all bullshit. I don't believe anything they say, those guys. Nope, that's everybody starts to sit back in their chair. Ooh, the Russians, there was a warplane? Or there was a reconnaissance plane Russians sent? Yeah, they do that stuff all the time. Nothing ever comes of it. That's just to turn up the fear. You know what? One thing we didn't say was grid down, man. These guys are going to start, like you said, in India, in New Delhi, those rioters, they started shutting the internet down on them. You know, certain segments of the internet. That's a huge thing that they're going to start doing. Internet and grid.
Well, here it is. Let's go to article scan here. We got Will borrows most missiles give Manila an edge in South China Sea. This is from 2 days ago. 3 days ago, German warships to cross South China Sea for the first time since 2002. Let me see. Chinese military in South China Sea landing drill as Taiwan tensions protests. U.S. hails German plan to send warship in the South China Sea. Yeah, so there's tensions happening, and they are basically, like you said, they're sounding the alarm in a way where, hey, there's something happening, and they're trying to make us look into that. You know what I'm saying, right? Hey, look at this. You know, What is COVID? What is COVID? The whole reason for COVID. Now, COVID is the distraction now. What are they doing now that COVID is distraction? Everyone's focused on COVID. You go anywhere on the internet, the first thing they tell you about COVID and the deaths. They give you nothing else. Now that COVID is the big distraction, Raven, what's the right hand doing now?
I don't know. We went for breakfast today, 4 tables in the restaurant, 4 of us, and we all had to sit at our own table, like 20 feet apart from each other and talk in a room. I couldn't believe, and then we all sit in an engine together all the way home.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Nothing makes sense anymore. It doesn't. This girl pulls up to a drive-through and says, and the guy goes, "You have to have a mask on, lady."
Yeah, I saw
She
that.
goes, "Well, just hand me my drink." He goes, "No, you have to wear a mask." Well, why can you hand me a mask, but you can't hand me my drink? He says, "Well, I don't know. You just have to wear a mask." Like, there's no sense. Nothing makes sense anymore, man. I don't know. I give up, Mike. I don't know.
So here it is. Sorry. India, Philippines is buying weapons from, so everyone's stockpiling their weapons. They're not buying food for their people. So right now, it says right here, will buying India's BrahMos missiles give the Philippines an edge in the South China Sea dispute with Beijing? There are the missiles right there that the Philippines are buying. This is from a day ago. And this is what the Philippines are buying from India. They're buying these rockets. They're big. And trying to give them an edge in the South China Sea. So there's a lot happening specifically in that area of the world. That's one point of tension that I see. I see a point of tension on the India-Chinese border dispute. And it's usually around China that's usually having a lot of issues, right? I mean, you're seeing all this. There it is right there. So China's taking its claims and what it believes it's part of their country and blah, blah, blah. And yeah.
They got food issues, China. China's got huge food issues right now.
They do.
For their people, yeah. Tons. Unbelievable.
I'm just trying to see if I have anything here from...
You're talking small scale wars and selling arms, though. Like, you can't lose sight. This is a depopulation event. At the end of the day, that's what it is. It's a depopulation event. How do we get there? We're not going to get there from small skirmishes, from guerrilla warfare and stuff like that. This has to be a very big program. Everybody must be mass confused and divided and unable to assemble, unable to think. You can bet that at some point our internet connections are going to start going down and we're not going to be able to communicate. That's what they did in New Delhi when they were running those protests, you know. That's going to happen on a bigger scale. I would expect your channel not to be here by the end of the year. And most of the other ones too. They're going to start knocking that out. People are really waking up and the numbers are growing. And if you don't think they're not on the internet and they're bean counting how much dissent is coming out of this, you're wrong. They're looking at us and they know we're waking up. They know a lot of us know what's going on, you know, and I talk to you and you talk to the people in this room and they all talk and they all call in and they're watching that. So they're going to start going after the internet. And that's why they have to predictive program the grid going down, because they're going to start saying it's a shoddy system. Hey, we need the new 5G system to come in. We can have accurate internet,
okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Give me a sec here, Raven. I'm going to open some Iranian state-run Iranian state news. Now, this is what we're not seeing on this side, okay? So let's open it up right now. This is what they're discussing from Iran. Israeli protesters attacked in 37th consecutive week of anti-Netanyahu demos. So there's been a lot of protests happening in Israel. It's their 37th week, and you would think the whole country would be shut down during COVID, but then when you start getting images like this on the ground, tens of thousands of Israeli demonstrators have poured into the streets of occupied territories for the 26th week in a row. Protests. Oh, this is 26th week in a row from December 2020. There's the images from December 2020, and then you go up here. This is the 37th consecutive week, and this is the newer images we're getting. 37 consecutive weeks in Israel for anti-Netanyahu demos. So that's what's happening right there. So they're calling. I can't talk too much about this on this channel. about what's happening there, but it seems that something's happening in their elections there. And I don't want to get the channel shut down, but I do like to get news from different sources of the world that people don't normally look at on a regular basis. 37th consecutive week. What happened to Covey there?
That's nothing's going to happen to BB. No one's going to touch him. He's I don't know. We can't really say the names. He's a David Lee Roth.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the David Lee Roth boys. You know what I mean? He's look at Epstein. That's one of his guys there. He went and got all his control files. Okay, we got control of everybody now. We can run our agendas. You're not touching him. He's high up on the food chain. I'd say he's probably higher than Trump on the food chain. Netanyahu. He was supposed to go to jail. That guy, he's a criminal. You know.
Oh, big time. Huge.
You're not touching that guy. Not a chance. No.
All right, so here's my last prediction. I see a big movement happening inside Israel. I see a massive movement happening with alliances happening centered around Israel. And I think there's going to be a preemptive strike against Iran. I don't want to say that. I hope I'm dead wrong. But I think that's the last nail of the coffin. And I think Iran is next on the chopping block, Raven. And then I think they're going to deal with China later. I think they're going to let China play what it wants to play for now. And I think this is why we're having this problem in Israel and other countries, because I think they need to maintain that dominance and leadership for now so they can move ahead with their agendas, because it's taking longer than they expected.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's ever evolving. There's a lot of variables in there, but I think it just evolves and they kind of guide it the way they want. But I don't think it's an exact science. I think it's a slow-moving train wreck, actually. You know, speaking of trains, how come no one I work with gets COVID? You know, there's 60, 75 trains running across Canada with 2 crew members jumping off that train every 150 miles, switching off with 2 more crew members in another town, you know, dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of trains and crews and hundreds of crews and hundreds of towns. And how come there's no COVID? How come we never had any COVID? You know, you would think all these people touching the handles on the engine and from town to town to town. Where's the COVID?
Well, never mind that. Let's go back to this. Israeli protesters attacked in 37th consecutive week of anti-Netanyahu demos. We don't have any of this news here in the West. We have to get this from Iranian state-run media to tell us what is happening. This is a major issue. Where's COVID? 37 weeks. 30 weeks ago, we were knee-deep into COVID. We were all shut down 30 weeks ago.
You know, 45% of the world was in protests in November of 2019.
That's correct.
What happened? What happened to all that?
I think it's still going on. Like in France, I had Francois Demarquet. He messaged me like 2 days ago. He says, Mike, they're still protesting in France, like every day.
If anywhere was going to protest, it would be France or Hong Kong, maybe. I don't know what's going on there. Whatever happened to that guy? What's his name? That guy that you had in Hong Kong.
Oh, he's missing in action. He's our correspondent in downtown Hong Kong.
You never heard from him again?
He is missing in action. We have no idea where he is.
Wow.
Yeah. Our correspondence in Hong Kong is. I hope he surfaces somewhere and messages me. He knows how to find me. You know, he knows.
You know, when they took away our right to assemble, they pretty much squashed all those protests, I think, because then you were breaking the law. You know, wasn't that convenient? They had to roll out COVID when they did, because it was like back in November 2019, we knew it was too much was going on. Repo market was falling apart. Everything. They had to roll it out. They had to squash all those protests.
And that's why I said before COVID, 5 months before COVID, I said the only thing I could see them doing is pulling the trigger on a mass pandemic. But
they were burning central banks in Iran. They burnt how many central banks?
11.
Yeah, they were burning everything. It's out of control. They had they had to run with it. They had to. They're running out of time. And you know what? The repo market started falling apart. And now the bond market's starting to fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's puking up on them. I don't know. It would tell you that, hey, those are red flags. That bond market, the hyperinflation, everything, and now with the inflation in the commodities, these are all red flags that they're going to be getting ready to pull the next pin. So, I don't know. There's something in it. It's probably what's going to come in and complement it is going to be grid down. I keep thinking that grid down, they're going to start hitting that. But what is it? Is it going to be, I don't know if it's going to be variants. Maybe they got something really strong, a really strong variant coming. I think vaccines is going to play into how they're going to put the old dog to sleep at the vet, though.
Here we go. Look, I got some breaking news right now. This is happening right now, being broadcasted from Press TV. Gazans stage mass anti-Israeli protests in Gaza. And CNN was saying that 25 people were there. There's like a couple of thousand people there, to be honest with you. But, and then that was a short clip. But no, this is more than 25 people. So I'm just kind of getting some footage here from Press TV on what's happening. And yeah, they're staging a mass protest. I think this is, so I guess COVID doesn't work in these countries, I guess?
It's not everywhere.
I'm being sarcastic.
I don't, yeah, no, but there's lots of countries where I don't think they really have too much COVID, eh?
It's not they don't have too much COVID. I just think it's just not. If this was a real pandemic, people would be dropping like flies.
Yeah, no, it's barely an excuse.
It's barely an excuse. Shot Clip sent me another $2. At what point do they say no? They just can't jail us at all. They just can't jail us all. Shot Clips has a good point there. He said, okay, basically, hear me out. Hear out what he has to say. There's not enough jails to jail us all, Raven. I mean, is there enough lead to shoot us all?
Well, you're going to find out if you're a coward or not during this, when this all comes out. There'll be those of you who think you're not, or you're going to find out. That's what I think, because there's going to come a time you're going to have to stand up, right? I got no kids. I don't really care. Like, they're not going to ever make me do anything I want to do. I ain't taking a vaccine. Mandatory vaccines, I think, is on the agenda.
That is for travel. It is, yeah. Now it's travel.
No, you know what? Off the bat, get as many of the fools as you can to take it. So we'll see how many. I've seen this before. I've seen this at work, actually. Oh, it's voluntary, you guys. And then when it didn't work out, they said, yeah, no, it's mandatory. They try the voluntary first. Just to see what how many mosquitoes they can catch in the net. And see how many we get. And then they'll start clipping us. Okay, no travel, no concerts, no shopping, no going to the hospital. That's all coming. You can see that coming. Yeah. These guys are going to start to be like a wild animal in a corner, caged. When you start to play with their monetary system, starts to crumble out, they're going to say, you know what, get rid of Bitcoin. That's got to go.
We're also getting more reports on the ground from this is from today right now as we speak. Clashes erupt in Senegal over arrest opposition leader. A lot of it's political driven, eh? And we're looking here of hundreds of thousands of protesters who've gathered in the capital working class district of Medina, catching a free Sonko. The protesters fought running the street battles. The street battle's been going on for a couple of weeks now in Senegal. And they're looking. It's due to the 2019 elections, and the opposition party leader that was running for president got arrested. So there's a lot happening all over the world, and we're not getting any. Because if you see, look at all these clashes in Senegal. Look at this 36-week protest in Israel. Look at a 100-week protest in France. Look at this. Then COVID doesn't. It's not real. COVID doesn't exist. It can't. If you have all these people and there's no, you know what I'm saying, Raven? If this is a pandemic, then people would not leave their homes because people would be dead next door and people would be dead on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn the TV off. That's what I told my mom. If you want to get rid of it, stop worrying about it. Just turn your TV off.
Mm-hmm. No, we're just trying to get facts here. Like, if this is happening and all these people are dying in all these places, then why are all these other places and upheavals and throwing rocks at police and tens of thousands and burning tires everywhere? I don't think they care.
You know,
Huh?
you say all these people dying. You know, when this was going through last summer, June, July, we all saw the red flags of those guys. You know, they were trying to get the deaths. They're offering hospitals incentives, like cash incentives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're offering them cash incentives. So, and they're categorizing. We all saw that. That alone should tell you everything you need to know. You know, so much evidence, and like you can't really give that as concrete, but you can sure look at that and go, wow, you know, I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. Come on, give me a break.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's amazing what people will believe. And I'll tell you, I work with a lot of them and they believe it. The government's coming to help us. Don't worry. They're going to sort it all out. A lot of those people still think we're going back to like 2019. They think that we're going back to that. We're all going to sit in movie theaters and, you know, no. And I could see them making silver illegal too. Strategic, and they're running out of it very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to start making decisions that you're not going to like. You know, censoring your YouTube channels. That's just a little taste of what these guys are going to start doing. Yeah. It's going to come faster and quicker the more they get cornered.
Mm. All right, Raven, I'm going to let you go. Let you get some sleep there.
I never have anything happy to say, eh?
That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right. Have a good night. And
yeah.
We'll see you. Give us send me photos on the update on that vehicle. Let us know what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, I'll have it out in I'll have it in 3 weeks. I'm just kind of leaving it there. They're doing some work on it for me, and it's in a nice heated place. So
yeah,
anyway, I'll send you a video.
Maybe drive it up here when it's roadworthy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm scared to drive it to the lake. That's an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, no, but when you're on a big highway, it's open road. I think you'll feel confident. But anyways, we'll talk about that soon.
Okay.
God bless, and we'll talk soon.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, okay. Have a good one. Bye.
All right. That's the Raven. Raven's doing some work on his 63 Corvette split window. Anyways, guys, I haven't seen Lord Humongous in the comments. I wonder if he's okay. So we're getting all kinds of different angles in the news from different countries on what's happening. Like this one here. Biden administration, this was a big bad move here. Biden administration approves arms sales to Egypt despite human rights violation. That was, I don't know why they made that move, but that's a bad one. See what else is in the news here. Just trying to see if there's anything else. Italians returning to France's top award in protest at honoring of Egypt's Sisi. Trying to see if there's anything here that could kind of give us some sort of indication on what's happening in this world. You know, trying to see if there's any Iranian state media that might be the trigger to what may happen. Yeah, all this nuclear deal, all these years with Iran, it's basically Iran wants to become more self-sufficient with power and energy, and it's been crazy. If Iran was more, how do you say, if they had a puppet government or it was a little bit different, yeah, you wouldn't have, and that's why I think, in my opinion, Iraq was taken or taken over and occupied for so many years, so that there wouldn't be peace between Iran and Iraq. You could easily see Iranians and Iraqis becoming friends, and that would be a very powerful ally against the West. This way, if you occupy Iraq, put your soldiers and bases there and put them along the Iranian border, you're not going to have too much of peace agreements won't be on the list here. Okay, we got Liam messaging me a million. Let's see what he's got for us. Wow, he's got a ton of videos, man. Holy crap. Let's call Liam right now. Here, he's calling me right now. Yo, I was just going to call you, man.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Good. You sent me a quadrillion videos. So what is happening, dude?
Oh, I was just showing you that life is normal in Asia compared to the West.
Well, dude, you have a 36-week protest in Israel. 36 weeks. You do the math. 31 or 30 weeks ago, we were knee deep in COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So there was protests they've been hiding from us for a long time. So, and then you got all these clashes in Senegal. You got an uprising in, what was it, in Venezuela the other day. You had another uprising in, I think it was South Africa. Then you had another uprising and major issues in India. Then you're having protests in Taiwan. You're having protests in Hong Kong again, apparently, even though the 25th variant is out now and from Brazil mixed with Beetlejuice. Just don't say Beetlejuice 3 times.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Yes. But you see where I'm going here, right?
Yeah, I see. But did you see? I sent you something that no one else is talking about. That
All
I
right,
think
I'm going
you
to
might
open her
wanna
right
look
now.
at.
Hold on a sec. Okay, let's open her up right now. Let's go to the discussion piece here. Okay, what are we looking at, buddy?
Okay, nobody's talking about this, and I feel it's very important to talk about. And it's the big EBOLA.
The big EBOLA.
Yeah.
All right, we got it open right here. Oops. Okay. All right. WHO sees Ebola risk very high. Why is it opening again? A WHO sees Ebola risk very. It keeps opening again. High for Guinea's neighbors.
Guinea, yeah, Guinea. I think it's Guineas. Yeah, Guinea.
It's Guinea.
I don't know.
My dad lived there.
Okay. I always thought it was Guinea. Is that wrong?
Well, Guinea. There's Guinea-Bissau and there's Guinea, right?
Okay.
And Guinea-Bissau is a Portuguese Guinea, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but that's how I pronounce it. I'm sorry.
I think
So
you're right. I think you're right.
So I'm just pronouncing it in a Portuguese way. That's why. Let me go to the article scan here. So tell us, WHO Ebola. What do you know? You always tell us
It's
something.
ba-
In 3 weeks, it becomes news somewhere else.
Yeah, so I actually sent you this a week ago, and Ebola has started again and is spreading pretty rapidly, and I don't know if they'll be able to control it. And considering the world is in lockdown because of the so-called global pandemic,
Mhm.
wouldn't it be great if they could mix in the big Ebola into the mix? Because that is something you don't want to play with, right? I don't know about you. What would you rather have? Would you have rather Covey or would you rather have that other one?
I would rather have Ravid Covey right now. I'd rather have
Yeah.
the Brazil strain mixed with Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have that. I don't think you want to play around with the big E, right?
No, it says so far 1,604 people have been vaccinated against the Ebola in the new outbreak in Guinea, the first resurgence of the virus there since 2013-2016 outbreak, the world's worst, which spread in several other West African countries that killed 11,300 people. So there it is right there. So WHO sent over 11,000 Ebola vaccines to Guinea mid outbreak. And Guinea's spectacle as governments step up to fight against Ebola, and Guinea launches Ebola vaccination drive in the country's south. So you think that this is
Well, I've just sent you another link, and that will explain why I'm thinking it's bigger than what it is.
okay?
So just have a look at the new link I've just sent you.
All right, give it a sec. I don't know why, but when I try to open links anywhere, it's like the computer goes into full slow down mode. There it is. This is coming from Yahoo. Okay, Yahoo is reporting on something here. Exclusive White House orders enhanced airport screening for Ebola.
Exactly. This was a week ago.
What? So what are you?
Well,
Okay,
there you
we're
go.
connecting the dots. Then, now, what are you telling us here?
Well, I'm just looking at what's happening on the ground, right? You got a country where Ebola is starting, and it's very high risk according to WHO, and we all believe everything that the WHO says, right? So if we believe them, then the neighboring countries would possibly have a spread as well. And if the White House has already like weeks ago started enhanced airport screening for Ebola, then doesn't that mean the White House knows something?
Yeah.
Or are the White House going to use it as a scare tactic, right?
I don't think they'll use Ebola as a scare tactic. I could see them. I could see them. I don't think they'll play with Ebola. I think that they'll play with COVID and the Brazil strain and the Beetlejuice strain. I could see them doing that, but I can't see them playing around with something
Yeah,
that.
I can't see it also because it's a different game, right? And the big E is a completely different game, but you never know, right? Because remember, Mr. Billy Gates, he said this virus is nothing compared to the next one that's coming along.
He did say that. He did say that, and he was wearing a blue sweater when he said that. I know specific things about that guy. If you tell me what's color or sweater, I'll tell you what day it was and what he said when he was wearing that color sweater.
Really?
I'm being sarcastic, but I'm saying, yes, I remember him saying that. People in the comments could, I think, people in the comments could basically confirm that he has
it's
said
true,
that. Yeah.
true. You can search it. He
We
says
got
that.
Dom Merlo saying Ebola virus has been patented.
Probably, most likely.
Everything. They've been
I
patenting
think all the
insects and
viruses.
species and all kinds of stuff. Okay. So what
That's
else?
just something to look at, right? Just to have it at the back of, like you heard it first on Mike in the Night. If anything happens, right? You heard it first. You heard it months in advance, right? But the videos I sent you can play all those. They're my private videos, just
Okay.
to show you that life is completely normal in Asia, and I feel that it's also a power move from the West to Asia. Asia continues life as absolutely normal.
Ooh,
You
honey
can go
ham.
on beaches, you can go in the city, you can eat in restaurants, you can go shopping. Everything is open.
I'm looking at the honey ham. Sorry. There's the building. There's a skyline right there. That looks really nice. Where's this? Is this Bangkok?
Yeah. Thailand.
Okay, because I've been there.
Yeah, Bangkok. That's the city skyline, Bangkok.
Yeah. Wow, it looks really nice video, buddy.
So how much do you reckon a 5-star hotel, that particular hotel, with free all-you-can-eat breakfast and free all-you-can-eat dinner would cost?
Okay, breakfasts in Thailand and dinner are like real, like full blown plates of food. We're talking a lot of food. But when you think of Canadian and American free breakfast, you think of those continental breakfasts with toast and some cereal. No, I think you're paying about 20 US a day.
No, but I mean like a 5-star hotel, a one night in a 5-star hotel, plus free all-you-can-eat breakfast and free all-you-can-eat dinner.
25 US a day?
25 US? Are you crazy? 5-star, right?
What are you paying?
It costs in US dollars. Let me check. Into US dollar.
He's got a calculator.
$88.
88?
Yeah, US dollars.
I was like $50 off. Okay, 88 bucks US. That's 100 Canadian, 105 Canadian. Yeah, that's good.
But do you know how much that would cost if it was just normal without COVID?
Oh, like 350?
That would have cost you $1,000.
1,000. Okay, I was going 350. But
yeah, this
yeah.
is like top 5-star, like real proper 5-star.
Oh, like you're talking about like presidential 5-star. Like you could be down the hall from Michael Jackson is what you're saying.
Yeah. This is called the Peninsula.
Oh, okay. I think they have the Michael Jackson suite there too.
Yeah, probably. There's the Peninsula in Hong Kong, Peninsula in Bangkok, I think maybe Singapore, something like that.
Where is this beach?
That is in the south of Thailand.
The Belt?
It's an island called Koh Lipe. It's not far from Malaysia.
That looks pretty cool. Is that a tiki bar? What is that?
Yeah. It's like a bar made out of wood and everything. It's pretty amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so life goes on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not in. Not
Are you
in,
sure
not
people
in,
aren't
yeah.
dropping on the floor like flies from COVID?
Well, that's what I mean, right?
I remember the
If there was
videos he sent
some,
us when you were in that COVID prison.
yeah. That was you have to go. You have to scroll up to find those again.
Yeah. Whoa, look at the markets. Do you have to wear a mask there or no?
You do, but no one would. You don't have like you don't have one of those mall cops like throwing you to the ground because you haven't worn your mask properly. You don't have that. So yeah, life is good in Asia, man. You need to move back over to Asia. That's where the power is moving to Asia. Oh, there's the video. You see all these piles of clothes you see in this market.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where they come from?
China.
No, they don't actually. They come from the West. What happens is when you send, you have those clothes banks
Yeah.
where help the children in Africa and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they get organized into categories, and then they get sold and sent over to Southeast Asia.
There's the outside of the hotel, the Bangkok Peninsula. Yeah, you got to do some reporting out there. Just say, "Hey guys, reporting here for the Mike Martin's channel. This is Liam. You don't have to show yourself. You could just show what you're showing us and saying, "I'm just
Okay.
standing outside here where it looks like there's a big bum fight."
Okay, no problem. I can
Yeah.
do that.
That looks pretty nice, man. That's pretty spiffy, and the weather must be nice.
Yeah, I don't. Do you do
I'm so
Celsius
jealous.
in Canada? Do you do Celsius in Canada?
Do I do who?
I mean, Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Celsius in Canada, yeah.
Yeah, so it's about between 33 and 37 every day.
That's like 102 Fahrenheit.
I don't know Fahrenheit. I have no idea.
It's like 100 Fahrenheit, 90, 95, 98 Fahrenheit. Wow, look at that every day, man. Parties, man. Yeah, I'm liking that, man. I'm liking that skyline. I'm liking all that, man. You know what? Simple life.
So don't you think it was worth the jail time to get this kind of freedom?
Yeah, it is worth the jail time, the COVID prisons. And then you go to other parts of the world like Ontario and Toronto, everything's shut down. Everyone's staying in COVID hotels, you know?
Yeah, the West is brutal, man. Really, I've lived in Asia for 10 years, and really, you can't compare anymore. The West is so far gone compared to Asia.
Interesting. Ooh, there's a church.
Yeah, there's a few churches in Thailand.
Yeah, there's a Catholic church there. You know, yeah, I'm gonna go with the wife to to the Philippines. We're gonna go back to the Philippines. We built a house there, so we're gonna go check it out, make sure it's okay, it's kosher. And she wants to do a little bit of renos when we get there that we have to do in person, right? So to make sure it's done right.
So your previous ticket and stuff, have you still got credit and stuff for that?
Oh man, it's Filipino Airlines. You're gonna call back. They're gonna say, "Sir, listen to me, sir, Mister." That's what they're gonna tell you when you call them.
Wow.
Yeah.
At least they're talking to you, right?
Yeah, sir, Mister, listen,
Because
sir.
if you had probably American Airlines or something, you'll probably have one of those automated machines.
Yeah,
So at
you
least
really-
someone talking
welcome
you,
to
right?
America Airlines, where no one cares about you.
Please hold on the line. Your call is very important to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to show you a bit of positivity, a little bit of positivity. I know it's not in the Western world, but you can see, man, life continues as normal in Asia. Life continues, the money-making machine in Asia. You haven't got so-called security guard throwing you to the ground because, your mouth is not covered. Yeah, life is good in Asia, man. I think I made the right decision.
You know what song just popped in my head when you said that?
What?
You know that song by Hideaway, "Life Will Never Be the Same"?
Can you sing a couple of lyrics?
Life will never be the same. Life is changing.
I don't know.
Okay,
that one.
when you get off the phone with me, look up Hideaway, type in Hideaway. Life will
Okay.
never be the same, and play it, okay?
Okay. Life. I'm not gonna play it now. I'm just gonna. Will never be the same. Okay.
By Hideaway. Play that later, and you say, Mike Martins told me to play this. But all right, well, thanks for the update, Liam. Keep us on the ground there, and if you don't mind, keep an eye out there for us in Asia, and let us know if any upcoming events or anything. Just report on it. Put it on the Skype like you've been doing. You don't have to show your face. You could just talk it and show what you're trying to tell us. Or even if it's on the TV, you could just film the TV and then report on what you're seeing. And we will rebroadcast it here, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, God bless you.
All right, take care. Bye.
That is Liam from Southeast Asia. We got Core Dre sending me $5.49 Canadian. Yeah, baby. Thank you so much for the super chat, people. Super chat. James Fifey is saying you would be a damn fool to leave the United States right now. So we got people talking in the comments. Comments are going full blast. I guess we'll do a quick channel plug here before we get the next caller on. And if you want to support the channel, there's many ways to do it. It's very simple, actually. Don't forget to, guys, set your reminders for Mike of the Night next week. The Cloud of Ruin. So are we forecasting something here on the channel that may happen? The Cloud of Ruin on Mike of the Night next week. Don't forget to shop on Teespring. The link is on top of the YouTube channel. We got... Oh, black mold fears going on. Someone just messaged me a black mold fear happening. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Facebook if you want. No one gets anything on Facebook, so don't even bother. Guys, send me your show tips on Instagram. If you have Instagram, please send me show tips here. Send me, they don't block it. For some reason, Facebook says this message is unable to open. Music by Ralphie.co.New Zealand and art by Dano, artbydano.net. Art by Dano, not your typical art. Check him out. Tell him that Mike Martin sent you, and he's got all kinds of cool prints. You could even commission a private or special design. You send him a photo via email, and he'll see if he could do for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get him once all this thing starts to unravel and things hopefully come back to normal. Hopefully, I'm hoping for the best here. Then I'm going to commission him to do a photo for me or something for me with my family. With my family in it. So we got people here. What's going on? Oh, people are talking about storing food. Sardines and onions on toast sounds like something Bill Gates wants you to eat. Yeah, no, they want you to eat flesh. They've been promoting quite a bit human meat. If you want to be green, eat more human meat and eating. Oh God, I don't even want to know what kind of sicknesses will come out of that. Eesh. Oh yeah, life will never be the same. Now I got that song from Hideaway in my head. All right. Who else is Get Supreme Canada on the show? Let's see if we have any more. We only got 2 first-time callers on the show today. Let's see if we have anybody else that wants to come on the show. That's a first time. Here we go. The Lady Lacey Show wants to add me on Skype. Let's give her a call. See if she picks up the phone.
Oh.
Hi, is this the Lady Lacey Show?
Hold on. Oh. Where was I at? Turn that off. Yeah, I'll have to. Where was I at? I'll call you back. I'll have to get back to you.
Okay, bye.
I have to get back to you.
So that's the Lady Lacey Show. Sounds like she was in the bind there. We have, who else is messaging me on here? Liam brought us a lot of good information. The Raven went semi-full kook today. We got, yeah, we got to get some prepping ideas. We got to get in the next couple of weeks. Maybe in the end of March, April. Maybe we could get Alaska Prepper back on to give us more updates on where things are headed with that, with prepping, and he's got a lot of good content on his channel recently. I've been watching some of the stuff he's been preparing and bottling and getting ready for the big yeah. Oh, AI. Okay, somebody wants us to call. That's Fruity Loops wants us to call him to ask about the earthquakes in his southeast. Yo, what's up, dog?
What's up?
All right, you got earthquakes in southeast United States?
Yeah, we got them here, and it's kind of a mixture between this earthquake and a loud boom. We're getting.
You know what? That loud boom is being reported everywhere. People in Greenland last week were reporting these loud sonic booms in the air, and they can't see nothing. It's like shaking the house and everything.
Yeah. Right. It's between a shake and a boom. So like it sounds like what's actually going on is kind of shaking up people more, because you catch it on like a lot of these homes have Nest cameras in the front yard, you know, and it's wild because you know, we don't get earthquakes over here on the East Coast, you know, and the strongest.
You get hurricanes.
Yeah, we get those, and these it's going all the way up to Connecticut. You know, they had some rumbling, and you know, I understand like on the West Coast, Oregon's been having a lot between them and the volcano, Utah. You know, like all that area. You got the southwest section. It's getting about 6.3 magnitude mixed with Greece and Albania, you know, Kosovo. So you got a little bit of Eastern Europe getting damaged. You know, people, they live in different type of housing there too. It kind of would be like you know, the structures aren't as good. So those are just destroying homes and back and forth, shaking. Getting a lot of seismic. You know, you seen the shaking videos. People are sitting in their house, but they're also getting, in the same time, we're also getting what looks to be like a meteor shower, but I don't think those are meteors. There've been
over Arizona.
Over Arizona, we got them over here in the East Coast. It's kind of like just like a sharp, bright light, and it's kind of mysterious. But you know, I had my brother, you know, he's Canadian, but we lived out here on the East Coast, and you know, he oh my God, every time we had like, you know, family gathering, dinner table, always brought up this conversation about how he witnessed the large bright light in the sky, and then 10 minutes later, guys in black suits showed up, you know, fully ready with flatbeds to take out items. He had recorded, you know, these like they were removing body bags, and nobody was allowed on site. And the thing was is he, you know, I told you in the past, my brother's he was an Olympic lacrosse player for Alberta, and he was in New York because of the lacrosse team. So like all his other lacrosse guys, one of the guys was a pilot, so that they were at the site. And this was on the History Channel last week. So this is getting, it's like you said last week, it's gone mainstream. They're, you know, people aren't just full kook anymore. It's mainstream. It's, you know, there's shiny lights in the sky and everything. You know, and what the light was when it crashed, it was down the road from a facility that I worked at, and the facility, they were doing, you know, they call them projects. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those sites where the military is at the door
Mm-hmm.
with automatics.
I love those sites.
Yeah. I was kind of like this around. I didn't really. We did like operating engineering. I wasn't really, it doesn't take that much. I wasn't a scientist, but the scientists were there, with the crazy hair and, the Russians and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they said that it was shot out of the air on the History Channel, and they're putting it on the History Channel, so obviously my brother did see it, so it's always brought up. But these hurricanes and these earthquakes and these recent sightings are all happening at the same time. I just think that it's really not a coincidence that all these volcanoes and these earthquakes are happening at the same time, in the same locations. It could be like something to watch, in New Zealand when they're recording like seismic and tsunamis coming in, but there wasn't really that big of
here it is.
waves.
Hold on a sec. What are all these booms and rumblings all about? So this is an article from 2017, and this has been recorded for a long time now. If you lived in the Magic Valley for very, very long, you've heard the strange rumblings in the sky. What are they? Nobody really knows for sure. Here's a select stories from over years and years of documenting strange sounds with plenty of speculations about the causes. So this has been happening, these loud booms with no effect, and people are wondering where they're coming from. Here it is, loud worldwide. Let's put the audio on this.
But that was it. I'm hearing about 10 to 15 minutes apart, and they're very powerful and unexplainable.
Terrifying noises have been recorded everywhere, from the Middle East to the Midwest this year, with a majority heard on the U.S. East Coast.
Asking what was that loud boom in Alabama.
They were getting these problems. They were having these booms and these problems. And here's one of the booms shaking the house.
By residents all over central Alabama.
It shook her house.
It shakes the house. And this has been happening for a long time. And they've been reporting it in Greenland like 2 days ago. And they were reporting it in parts over Siberia and Russia a week and a half ago. And it happens sometimes at the exact same time, where you'd get the loud boom, let's say, or over Orlando area and everything shaking, and then you'd get it in Sydney, like outside of Sydney, Australia. I don't know if there's been any reports there, but I'm giving an example at the exact same time.
Yeah, this is happening. There's been a lot of mysteriousness going on, and let's just. Let's bring up this alien technology, because I just want to point out that we sit at my family gatherings, like my family, obviously my one brother witnessed this event that 1992, it happened in New York. If you look on the History Channel, it's documented. My other relative worked for, I don't know if I should say the private contractor, but they're a military contractor. They were engineering all that technology back in the 50s and 60s. We are not a country to mess with for a reason. We have technology that goes. I worked at these facilities. I know what they have, right? So we have whatever they don't want to. They're slowly giving it to us. I don't know if you've been noticing that they're slowly giving it to us.
Hold on, there's more footage here. Give me a sec here. Hold on.
All asking about.
Well, for the third time in nearly 3 weeks, people across Alabama are baffled after hearing something like this.
Yeah,
what was it?
Yeah,
Some
so
of you heard at least 2 more
they're
booms like
slowly
that.
giving it to us, right? They're not just dumping it on us, because obviously they don't, like what happened with every other thing. They don't want people to go full,
Hold on a sec. Here's some more footage here.
Says she's heard and felt the phenomenon about 30 times, always coming in a rash of resonance.
It got really frequent for about 2 to 3 weeks, and then it's just died off again. I haven't heard it in a while.
Chelsea noticed the last one happening on November 13th.
It's just a vibration and a boom.
She's also noticed she's not the only one noticing.
And it's been popping up on my Facebook, like, what was that sound? And I'm like, you guys are behind.
So everyone's connecting on social media and saying, what was that sound? And everyone's hearing it too. So it's not just one person,
I've been
right?
hearing this for almost 2 years now.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, so one person's, hey, you know, they put on Facebook, hey, did you guys hear that in Austin, Texas? Or did you guys hear that in Iowa? Did you guys hear that in Oregon? And then you get the comments and people are like, yeah, I heard that. And I'm really not that kind of person. I don't normally think that. But now I heard it, like,
hold on. Mike Banks just put up a thing saying it's probably the sound of plates shifting under the ground. It's known to cause the same very loud, deep sound to echo through the land, or it could be something else. But it could be some tectonic plate. Who knows, man?
With the earthquakes and
it could be like shifting
volcanoes.
movements, and then that makes a noise and it echoes through. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I've seen videos of these flying objects flying out of these earthquakes too. So what they did release, though, I did send you an image of a screenshot of what they released from a FOIL information request is a Freedom of Information law request. So somebody had sent in a request to DIA, the Defense Department. They had sent them a request for Freedom of Information Act, and they got information back, and it was given to them recently, and it was about the materials that were discovered at the 1992 crash site in New York. You can see, like, there was somebody was recording it, so you can see there were certain metals that were removed, and they're calling these metals smart metals. They're not created on Earth, but they can be recreated, and these metals are infrared harvesting energy. So, like, just how you have a remote and you turn on the TV, that energy creates the energy to turn on the TV.
Mhm.
This type of material is kind of like gold, and the fact that you can spread it thinly and you still get the conductive force and the conducive energy that can be in that type of metal. So what they're giving us now is that they do have other metals that are able to isolate infrared energy so that you're getting radiation that's intense. It's not like solar, it's a lot more intense. You can get a lot more concentrated energy and do a lot more things, and travel would be a lot faster. And so they gave that recently. I sent you the image of that, but that's the slow effect of we're getting into this whole disclosure effect, right? Because, like, we're going to get weird and mysterious events until we know exactly what they're coming
Well,
from.
here is more here. Hold on a sec. Let me just open this up here. The Kent variant. I'm joking. It's not the Kent variant.
Call Facebook.
I heard a loud boom.
Yeah.
And I felt
I
it
know.
also.
We got-
and I could. It
we got fireballs
rattled
falling
the
from
house,
the sky. At
so
least it's not
it,
the alien virus.
you know, rattled some
So,
things in the house.
Hold on a sec. Hold on.
So I just figured it was an earthquake.
There was no earthquake in the area, according to USGS.
So that's the boom right there on the chart that catches it right there. Wow. So this is happening everywhere. So this is something that's Cape Coral, Florida is reporting it. Everywhere is reporting this thing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm the most perma bull, possibly. You know, I try to stay both sides. But right now, I'm a perma bull, right? You know, all this is just it's just happening. It always has been happening. You can't reinvent the wheel. You know, what I really was excited about, you made that video that oil was going higher. And wow, we're getting right on that one. You know, we're going back to this whole 2000 era where China was having high demand. Like the last caller before that said, everything in Asia is perfectly normal. they're living a life.
Well, because the Kent strain won't make it there. I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, no, China exports are up 60%. Oil imports are up 10% from last year. So what we have is this China and industrialization. They're expanding. Obviously, they have a large population on top of India and Russia. Those imports, everything's normal over there. That's going to be great for the oil economy. Oil's.
I think we're going to see $100 barrel in the next 25 weeks.
25?
I say 25 because that's if what's playing out right now in Israel pans out, we might be seeing that in 25. Or if it doesn't pan out what's happening in Israel, it might be something else happening in Southeast Asia, and then you're looking at about 2 years to see $100 barrel. It depends how the chessboard moves around, buddy.
Yeah. I wanted to make the call quick. I don't have to keep you on me that long. Just let me know when you're ready to go. But I just wanted to point that out with the oil and, the positivity that he's 100% right. Everything in Asia is perfectly normal.
Well, you saw his videos.
Yeah, I mean, I live by the beach. I know how it is over there. In some parts of they don't have the beach and stuff. But yeah, man, you gotta have kind of, it's a double sword illusion. Everything is an illusion. It's who's right. Look at the markets this week, right? It was all an illusion, right? You know what's gonna happen. I'm really marking my words on this. I'm gonna watch it Sunday night. I think we're gonna get a really large gap higher. On Friday, everybody was so shooken up. Everybody's making videos. The market's crashing, this and that. They don't know how to play the game. I mean, you can't look into this stuff with these. Come on, they don't know. These people they have no financial experience, no financial degree. Okay, I mean, I've been working in the field for 20 years, and these people are trying to tell me I'm wrong. They bought Rocket Mortgage. I'm on the message boards telling them you guys are out of your damn minds. You're out of your minds. I'm on both sides. I was long and short on Rocket. Playing Rocket was like $20. I wrote it up to like $50 or something. I was holding the short. The puts were going higher as the stock were going higher. What do you think's going to happen? I mean, it's not rocket science. The stock is going to crash like no other. So people don't know what. It's populism. I understand. Everybody wants to conform to everybody else inside the conscious of a group. But yeah, you still have to set your boundaries. You go to war. I've said this in the past. You're going to go to war with the toothpick. You don't want to just be popular, and just say what everybody else is saying. So watch Sunday night. I think it would be good if you go live. I think the market's really going to take off starting Sunday night. This
I bought a bunch of crap on Friday. I bought a bunch of crap that dropped over 50%.
Yeah. Oh, everything. I held on, and on Friday I said, "Look at this." I sent you an image. I said, "Look, this is the triple bottom right here. This is going to make a big reversal." At 11 a.m., I stepped in, and we'll see. We'll see how high this thing goes. But again, the whole thing is everything's an illusion, right? Everything's propaganda. We don't know if we're at war with each other, right? Because back when the last couple of wars were happening, everything was all, smoky mirrors. They're all telling each other. Did you see that article I sent you with Israel saying about Iran?
Yeah.
They're making stuff up.
You know what?
Oh, guys.
I'm saying 20 weeks, you're going to see $100 barrel, and I'm telling you, it's going to come from right there, from what you just told me.
Oh, yeah, and the tensions in the Middle East is going to drive the oil up even higher. But the most biggest thing is that China and India, with the largest populations, are in big imports on the oil right now. That's a big thing. They're in full press. Their economies grow. Their economies in go mode. So Anytime they're in go
But
mode
what
and being a
about the
large
Kent
population.
strain? What about the Kent strain and the what's the other one? The African variant. What about those? I'm just being sarcastic.
Yeah,
I don't think they care.
Yeah, these corporations, I wouldn't, where obviously the EU Commission is having a big problem with this alphabet, whatever you call Google, Amazon. They're trying to regulate. They're coming up with this whole digital act, right? They want to regulate everything. They want to basically, if you say anything that does not conform to like the other one said, if you don't conform, Green Tea said that if you don't conform to the local rules, you're basically not obedient to be an acquiescence to whatever they demand or order you to do. They'll just say you're not breaking one of their 1 million rules.
Do you think they'll apply or create a Kent variant day for the children to stay home from school?
I think everybody should get a tax refund for whatever they paid taxes to go for the school systems. They should get a tax refund back on that one.
Well, yeah, but they were closed for like half a year, so you might as well get a little bit back, right? And all the streets that weren't being used.
Yeah, no, but if you have kids in America, you know that you're getting a $3,000 per kid credit, right?
Yeah.
But did you see the Venezuela introduced the $1 million dollar bill?
Yeah, it's getting to that right now. I thought $1 million.
Oh, man.
You know that Zimbabwe had the $17 trillion bill, right?
I can't imagine this. I really feel I'm Latin. I'm from Spain, so most people think I'm white, but I'm Spain. So like all this stuff, what they do, to these other countries. I read all the, the Noriega, Panama situations, right? They had in the 1970s.
I have a friend that was actually involved in the taking down Noriega in Panama. Like that was visiting me at my store.
Yeah. My wife's last name is, she's from over there.
Mm.
I can't wait. I got more houses over there than I do over here, so I'm trying to get out of here already. But I mean,
forget about it.
Yeah. No, that's another thing. I sent you an image about the Cuomo, and he was in a picture. One of his relatives was in a picture. They were leaving the courthouse with the Gravano, Sammy the Bull. Back in the 70s, the Cuomos and Gravano and the Gottis were all running together.
Well, they have to.
That's why I sent you that picture. And just like Raven says, when we start talking or sending each other different ideas of what's going on, next thing you know, it's like, oh, it's on the news. They're talking about it. CNBC's talking. Oh, CNN's talking about it. ABC's talking about it. That's why I know everybody gets tired of me on the show, but I do believe that's why I'm conforming to what Raven says. I affirm 1,000%. Everything Raven says is 1,000%. That every time we say something, all of a sudden CNBC, they're following me around like gang stalking. Everything we say. Oh, next thing you know, that's why I'm very walk on eggshells what I say, because they're gonna copy what we say. They're gonna put it on. It's
really weird how they conform. Like everything comes out. We talk about it here, and then a couple of weeks later, it's on the news. It's weird.
Yeah, I really don't want to bite my tongue because I know they're going to do it anyways. So I just understand this is they running out of things, so they're copying us, right? They've been doing it every time on everything. I catch every knife that falls, and guess who's right behind my tails, riding my coattails? They've been doing this since for 20 years. I started out with I told you when they started with the oil thing. I said, oh, the oil, Middle East tensions. Guess what happens, right? Middle East tensions. And it was in 2000. So, I wanted to keep it short. I don't want to take up too much time, but this chaos thing, again, it's all an illusion. That's how they do make everybody think that they're pulling the rug, and then all of a sudden, boom, the gap runs so high. You know, back in November, I was telling you, oh, buy, and then I didn't buy. Back in November, I didn't get that gap higher, and I remember next day you were like, everything's so much higher. Blah, blah. I didn't get in on that, but I knew what was going to happen. I'm always, you know, continuing on with whatever. It's a bear trap, it's a bull trap. Just, you know, catch the momentum. Whatever. There's falling knives, you catch them, and we see, you know, how this is managed. That's it. And, you know, they want to copy what we say, what we do, let them do it. But, you know, at least you're listening to the right people before it happens. You know, I have a multi-education. I have a criminology degree. I have a finance degree. I've worked real life experience. I'm really going to get into focusing on opening up a fund. I'm going to go into, like, you know, a hedge fund. I'm going to do it myself. I'll probably go into like Puerto Rico, like Peter Schiff has his capital. I'm trying to think of, I got an idea what I'm going to call it, but it's not going to be that hard for me to raise money and get a, you know, and get a big fund going because I have a really good track experience.
Anyways,
And that's the most
let's you know
important
what?
thing.
Let's
I'll
catch
let
up
you
on
go.
this fund on Wednesday night. Commonwealth for Common Folks. Why don't you shoot out your idea to us on Wednesday night? I want to continue this, but I got to get someone else here on the show real quick that's calling me from overseas. Listen, we've been talking for 25 minutes. We'll get you back on the finance show, okay?
Thank you, buddy.
God bless. Bye. That is AI. We had him on for almost half an hour. Wow. All right. I wanted to get Supreme Cannon. It looks like he's on. I want to get him on for a few minutes here to ask him. Well, we're winding down the show here. I want to ask him about these loud booms. What he's thinking they're coming from. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Supremo.
What is going on, my friend?
Nada. I just had Fruity Loops on, and then I had the Raven on before that. No, a first-time caller on before that, and then the Raven on. And I wanted to ask, what are these loud booms like that are happening? They're people reporting them from all over the world.
A lot of theories about them. I think the tectonic theory is probably the best explanation. Okay. People have heard like weird hums and stuff like that, and there's theories that it's actually like ocean currents up against the continental shelf, something like that, setting up some kind of harmonics. All kinds of weird theories for it. But there have been earthquakes in strange places too. Like I think North America, like smack in the middle of the North American plate, there's no plates rubbing up against each other there. But I mean, there have been earthquakes in the Midwest, like in Oklahoma. So just weird stuff going on. But I would maintain that it's most likely tectonics. I remember one time many years ago, I was high school days. My bedroom was in the basement, and I remember late one night there was this god awful roar that went through. It seemed like it started one end of the house and went through the other. Actually shook it a little bit, and everybody else upstairs slept right through it. There was an earthquake. It was a little one, like a 3.5, something like that. A fair distance north of me. It's just a vibration that goes through the ground. I would think it's tectonics. I'm not really sure.
It makes more sense. I mean,
or anything like that.
It makes perfect sense to kind of pick, if you're going to pick at something, because no one could see anything. It's been recorded. The sounds have been recorded. Seismographs have picked it up because of the boom. Could it be like lightning, where you get that thing happening on the ground, and then 30 seconds later you hear the thunder?
Yeah, I think so.
Like you get the lightning, so you get something happening. Something's happening and something's moving, parts are moving somewhere, and then boom, then the thunder comes later and then shakes everything.
Yeah, you would think something really deep underground. You wouldn't hear it. You would hear, you might feel it, but not hear it. But, exactly how the sound escapes. If it's going through bedrock, it might just vibrate it enough to make a thump.
And Iceland, I got a lot of messages from people that watch Mike in the Night in Iceland. And lots of messages. I'm surprised I have 13,000 subscribers on this channel. It's actually phenomenal. Tons of people messaging me from Iceland, and they're telling me that, hey, Mike, there's something happening here. They got 20,000 earthquakes in a week.
Yeah, well, they have active volcanoes in Iceland, yeah. They had a new island emerged well, within the last generation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's lots of seismic activity there, definitely. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked that you're going to get all kinds of shaking and rumbling from time to time.
I got a
It
message.
happens in clusters. It's like Japan.
I got a
Japan gets
message
shook all the time.
from Egon there, who watches us. He's saying that the earthquake lasted a whole week long. It wasn't one earthquake, but it was one after another. But it felt like it was going for the whole week, basically.
Yeah, just a cluster, right? It's just shaking and shaking and shaking. Yeah, well, all kinds of things could trigger it, right? Like you've got built-up pressure where you've got water meeting magma in chambers deep underground that's probably escaping steam and causing explosions, and then tectonic plates rubbing together. Yeah, there's all kinds of things that make the ground shake. Yeah, no doubt.
We got Anna Key brought up a good point. Maybe Yellowstone is finally going to go boom. They've been saying that since I was a kid.
Yeah, the Yellowstone Superdome. Yeah, apparently, if that went off, it would be quite a it would be a memorable experience, to say the least, assuming you survived it.
You know, if that
don't
happened, well, if that happened, you know what would be on the front page the next day?
What's that?
Kent variant.
Kent variant. That's right. Yeah, the Kent variant. That's
Yeah,
probably something to do with Trump, because they still can't really talk about anything else.
Yeah, it'd be the Kent variant on the front page while the half of America
right.
blows up.
Yeah.
So I'm just reading the comments as we go here. So now I wanted to ask, I know you're
Sources.
very against, or you don't believe a food shortage is, Supreme?
10%.
Oh, we're losing you, bud. You're breaking up.
Hello?
Yeah, you're back. Can you? Sorry, we lost you there for like 14 seconds.
Okay, I could hear you, but yeah, my microphone cut out, I guess. Well, I've been skeptical about food shortages because it is a global market.
Right.
And as long as, especially in North America, as long as the U.S. dollar is the reserve currency, they can buy food from anywhere in the world and probably be the high bidder. And if that didn't work, well, of course, they always have those carrier battle groups to make sure that things happen. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. We've had some hellaciously bad crop years in the last 10 years. And, you really haven't seen major price spikes in a lot of things. Not noticeable anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't keep people from getting obese. Let's put it that way.
It's true. Like, and one thing I want to address, I kind of want to address something, actually. I want to bring it up with you was, and we talked about this in person when you came to visit me, that this isolation, this whole COVID thing, this Kent variant and Mickey Mouse and all that stuff. Yeah. What's happened lately is more and more doctors are coming forward and saying that loneliness is actually more dangerous than being obese.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah. Yeah, no socialization is killing more people than this plague has.
Well, in Japan, more people off themselves.
Well, they do anyway, because they've had, it's a social disaster over there and has been for a long time. Their birth rates collapsed, decades ago. Yeah, no, it's terrible, but you have people who've been just kind of living in la la land for a long time, and now the shite has gotten kind of real, and they really do have to stay home and know you really can't go out and do whatever. And good heavens, when are things going to go back to normal? When you've got everything, your news cycle is maybe 7 days, and now you've got something that's lasted for a year. For some people, this is the pivotal event of their lives. It's an absolute crisis in every way, simply because they can't continue to go and function the way they did before. But they took a lot of things for granted. Raven is right. Things are not going to go back to normal because there's nothing normal about the last 50 years. It was going to end anyway. This isn't how I thought it would end, but here it is. Yeah, it's going to be traumatic for a lot of people, and it will be for a long time afterwards. It's not really bothering me, but yeah, there are people who are a lot more gregarious, and obviously it's a financial crisis for millions and millions of people now because they can't go to work, they can't run their businesses, they're just being destroyed, and you can only defer payments and rent and such just so long, and printing money and giving it to people Well, at this point, they've lost so much. I don't know how much you could print and give to people that would stabilize the situation. Yeah, that's right, Mitch. Yeah, Ted Kaczynski was lonely making bombs in a remote hideaway. And he was a certifiable genius. I mean, he was a mathematical, he was a brilliant man.
He was.
Yeah.
He had a high IQ. Now, let's touch base on the protests that are happening. Let's open that up because people are not going to believe it. But Iranian state-run media is actually reporting on protests. Now, I've been getting a lot of word on the ground, okay? This is not just because it's on Iranian state-run media, but I've been getting a lot of feedback from a lot of people from Israel a lot. I got a lot of messages from people from Israel, and I believe something major is going to happen there. And that's why I'm so sure that something major is going to happen or in the works that I've been buying a lot of energy oil stocks because of it. And I'm not trying to be greedy or like just following the trends, right? Supreme, follow the trends, right?
That's right. World events. Yeah.
World events.
They affect the value.
And if I'm wrong, I took the risk, I lose, right?
That's
so
right.
Here's the article right here for people at home to see it. Israel protesters attacked in 37th consecutive week of anti-Netanyahu demos. They do not show this on Western media. And then now we have the photographs from the 26th week, from a few weeks, like obviously 10 weeks before that, of people occupying several territories and protesting outside. So this has been happening for a long time now, but we haven't gotten wind of it because it makes zero sense. If 37th week, what about COVID? 30 weeks ago, we were knee deep in COVID.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of this is COVID related, right? The lockdowns there were also pretty extreme, and you have people walking around with look like bracelets, like those
ankle bracelets. And ankle bracelets too.
Yeah, that's right. To show that you've been vaccinated, things like that. Yeah, that's not dystopian at all. No.
But 37th consecutive week, that means there was really no lockdown happening.
No, I think they let up on it a couple of times, but Netanyahu is not that popular.
But he keeps winning every election on a landslide.
Well, yeah, what a shock, huh? Yeah, because
they're probably using the mail-in ballot system there.
I'm sure they're using some kind of mail-in ballots there. Yeah, maybe Dominion has machines there too. Yeah. I'm really questioning the legitimacy of any election in the so-called free world in the last, frankly, 20, 30 years. I don't see how. I don't see how we wound up with the guy we have again.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And we got Iraq's peace, security among Iran's top priorities. I don't see, and I'm going to be really honest with you, and we're going back to the Middle East again. I don't see them allowing Iraq and Iran to make peace. That's the thing. Iran and Iraq could have made peace before that Mickey Mouse war back in the 80s, the early 80s, if you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes,
they could have made peace many times over and been best friends, but I think the West doesn't want it because once Iraq and Iran become allies, that's a big problem for Saudi Arabia, and it's a big problem for Israel.
Yes, it's potentially a large problem.
Yes,
and the U.S. still has forward bases there, so they don't want Iraq to go down a road where they have complete peace. I mean, there are Iranian operatives in Iraq, proxies, and Syria as well, of course. Well, they've got them everywhere. They're called a state sponsor of terrorism, but they're not the ones with the planes blowing up, drones blowing up weddings everywhere. So, you just can't take that stuff too seriously. The big problem is that, of course, Iraq is a major oil supplier and good oil, just like Iran is. And you don't want anyone making friends with Iran if at all possible.
Right.
If you're in our situation, let's face it, we all benefit in some way or another from the petrodollar system.
We do.
Obviously Americans benefit more than, say, we do in Canada, but the Western world, particularly Europe and North America, do benefit from it because the American umbrella keeps it flowing, regardless of whether whoever wants to sell it or not, right?
Right. Now, let's go back to what they're reporting a lot of angles here that we don't never generally see on our media here, which is really scary because we're only getting one side of the picture. We're never getting. There's one here I want to discuss in Africa because we got. What about this Kent variant? I'm so scared of the Kent variant. All right, let's go here to this full screen. Clashes erupt in Senegal over arrest of opposition leaders. So an opposition leader got arrested. Tens of thousands of people on the street. Apparently, protests has been going on for weeks. And apparently, it's been out of hand, burning tires, people looting, trashing. And none of this makes the news because it throws the whole COVID narrative out the window.
Yeah, well, COVID hasn't been a big issue in most of, especially West Africa, because they've been. I mean, they eat quinine tablets like candy there because of malaria.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like hydroxychloroquine, this controversial thing that either deals with COVID or it doesn't, right? Depending on which news station you're listening to. It doesn't seem to have been an issue for them. It's been a back burner thing. And I don't think a place like that people would tolerate lockdowns because just the level of poverty.
But they have no cases, though. But that's the problem. You see what I'm saying?
They have no cases, so there's no need for a lockdown there. I mean, when your economy is basically flatlined, what can anybody really threaten you with?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Commonwealth, it would be a little bit different. Europe, it would be a little bit different. But in places like that, which are in a permanent state of being developing economies, you know, it just doesn't make that much difference. But I think it's the anti-malarial drugs that they prescribe for just about everything that it just hasn't been an issue there. But then they weren't trying to get rid of Trump. So, you know, how many people have actually died of COVID in North America? Now the number's up to 500,000, and I think we're pretty sure by now that at least half of them had nothing to do with COVID-19.
Most of them were motorcycle and aircraft fatalities and car crashes.
That's right. COVID is apparently like a bird strike. It literally planes falling out of the sky. It's a terrible thing. It's tragic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. So you don't believe any of the numbers after a while. It's just stupid.
Okay, here goes. You ready for this one? Now, Sudan's been getting a little bit of tension the last week or so. U.S. warship docks in Sudanese eastern port, and they say Russia plans to set up a naval base there capable of mooring nuclear-powered surface vessels. And on Sunday, Admiral Gorgigarvich frigate became the first Russian warship to enter the port, an Interfax news agency reported. And he says, the reason why I'm here is because I want to learn more about your country and develop partnership with your Navy. I don't think the Sudan, so I guess the U.S. warship docks in Sudanese eastern port. So that's what's happening there. And it goes on to say Sudanese officials will tour the ship of the U.S. Sixth Fleet, said in a statement, and explore opportunities to work together to establish a basis for relationship commuted to security and stability with their U.S. counterparts. So they're looking at building a Russian naval base in the area, and look what happens. U.S. warships move in.
What a shock, huh? Yeah, just about anywhere where somebody talks about moving away from the United States and the U.S. Navy shows up. How about that?
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
It's called gunboat diplomacy, like 100 years ago. You know, it just depends on whose gunboat gets there first.
There's a militia raids right now, and this is a big problem that's happening right now. So here it is, guys, for you guys to see. Militia raids in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo kill 10 civilian armies, and there's lots of militia attacks. Do you know, I understand these are Ugandan fighters that have been fighting in the Congo since, the early 90s? What's the deal? What's going on with this, and why are so many people dying?
You know, I'm not exactly sure. It probably has something to do with control of some kind of resources in the area. You know, like a lot of cobalt comes out of the Congo, you know, that you use for smartphones and for, you know, EV batteries and things like that. You know, you see the pictures of little kids in pits digging the ore out of the ground so that it it can be taken for Elon Musk.
To make the world green.
To make the world green, exactly. Yeah, it's terrible. Exactly what the history is of a conflict between Uganda and the Eastern DRC. I admit I have no idea.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. It's just there's so much turmoil. We're not getting reported on important. We're not getting any important. Like once we start seeing what's happening in all these parts of the world and start piecing it together, because this is the big world chessboard we're watching here, right? And we're just trying to figure things out. And I think it's going to come out of Israel. I think something major is going to come out of Israel in the next 20 days, like major.
Well, it does feel like there's get a sense of pressure building up there. Yeah. You have 37 weeks of protests. Obviously, people are ticked off. And of course, how long has this COVID thing been going on? It's more than 37 weeks now.
Yeah.
But the restrictions to people's freedom, and I mean, they have their problems in Israel, like everywhere else.
But I'm thinking there's something happening big. We're talking even I think Fruity Loops was telling me too. There's something happening with some sort of an alliance force of some sort of an alliance that's going to happen there, and they're going to something big is going to be planned. With several allies is what I'm saying. And I think it's going to be bigger than we can handle.
Well, it might have something to do with the resumption of U.S. bombing in northern Syria, right? Like maybe Israel, which seems to have arrived at some peace terms with Saudi Arabia and the UAE, and I think Qatar. It may well be, and they've had forces operating as proxies in Syria and northern Iraq as well over the last 5 or 6 years. Mm-hmm. So it may well be that there's going to be a resumption of an attempt to break up Syria again. I can't imagine what else Israel would want to be involved in, and anything involving their conventional armed forces, other than maybe an attack on Iranian nuclear facilities, if they perceive them to be developing far enough along. They did it to Iraq almost 40 years ago. So maybe they're trying to gin up something to hit Iran.
Tens of thousands march to support Tanzania's largest political party. Again, it doesn't matter who you vote for, it's who they want in power. So even if the entire country voted for one thing, even the other person with 3 votes will get in. So there's this big march in Tanzania. Let's put up some audio here. Let's turn off some audio. There it is there. That's a lot of people. But what about the Kent variant?
I freely admit I don't know that much about the Kent variant.
I don't even know what it is. They just mentioned it, and I've been taking that with me the whole time. Kent variant.
Just running with it. Yeah, let's run with it. It's the damn Kent variant.
The Kent variant, and then there was the Beetlejuice. I think it was Beetlejuice variant or something. Beetlejuice variant sprinkled with pixie dust.
Flat tire. Plainly, it was the Kent variant. Yeah, it had a flat tire. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. So there's tens of thousands of people. Some of them are wearing masks. Some of them don't even care. Tons of people out in the streets, and there are tons of flags, beautiful palm trees. Everything looks like it's, people are protesting here. And, I mean, we don't get any of this news here in the West. They don't talk about this stuff.
No. Well, it has so comparatively little effect on us anyway.
Because it's going to throw the Kent variant out the window.
Well, that's right. Yeah. The Kent variant might come out of Tanzania, right? In a container. Sneak aboard a container full of, coconuts or something. That would be awful. Yeah. Don't buy bananas. They got the Kent variant on them or something. Yeah. Honestly, this part of the world, it just seems like it's such a backwater. It's just something to fill space on the evening news. Mm-hmm. And it's not to insult these people. If you've got any listeners in Tanzania, I hope that things get better for you. But for the most part, no, it's too far away.
Well, you know why I'm showing this, right? There's a reason why I'm showing this. It's because the whole Western world's in lockdown while the rest of the other world's protesting.
Well, that should be the message that we get from it is like, how come, in Africa and the Middle East and in Israel, people are out on the streets with flags.
20, 30 weeks.
Yeah. The only time that you saw it in North America was either Antifa when they were burning up western coastal cities or Trump's rallies. That's about the only time that you saw that many people outside. Although, of course, Florida and Texas, the beaches are full again.
Mm-hmm.
But that took a while.
What about, could you get the Disney strain for that?
Yeah, I couldn't take a chance on the Disney strain. That'll be next, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Grindhouse cartoons, that's Dano in the house saying, how about those merit measles?
Merit measles? That's the Kent variant, the Canadian version.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kentvariant.ca. Merit measles.
Mm-hmm. Kentvariant.ca is workable.
Yeah, we'll work with that.
Yeah. So the whole, either half the world's locked down because of the Kent strain and the other half of the world is protesting. Okay, so here it is. Massive movement with hundreds of thousands of Algerians. So Algeria too. So here it is. I'm not understanding. What, like, are these people worried? Algerians worried about the Kent variant? What's going on here?
That's right. They didn't get the memo there.
Algerians have demonstrated in the capital, hundreds of thousands in the city and other cities to mark the second anniversary of the anti-government Hirak protest movement, which helped force longtime President Abdelaziz Bouteflika from power in April 2019. So everything's stemming from 2019 for some reason, and they try to lock down the world with the virus because now it's starting to blow back.
I have a feeling that this virus is a lot more political now than it is anything else.
Do you think the Kent, or are we talking about the Goofy one?
Well, we'll go with the Goofy one.
Goofy from the Looney Tunes.
Let's go with the Goofy. Yeah, I think Goofy would be a good catch-all for all of the different variants of the virus, frankly, because that's kind of what it is. It's just mass goofiness now. You've got half the economy of the developed world shut down, and how do you restart it without having an immediate collapse and deflation? Right, just simply because of bankruptcies and the amount of deferred, rent payments and things like that, all of which come due, and you're expecting them from people who have no money, and a lot of whom were, of course, up to their hoo-ha in debt before this even began. Right? I just think that they're going to, if we're going to have some kind of a false flag, it's going to need something where maybe you don't necessarily lock people down anymore, but you're going to have to ration food, you're going to have to ration fuel, you're going to have to prevent either hyperinflation or a massive deflation, and just try to keep things on an even keel. But if they don't put some money into people's hands, well, again, I don't know what you're going to do.
There's one thing that I'm very disappointed in right now is a very bad move. You won't be watching this on CNN, folks. Biden administration approves arms sale to Egypt despite the human rights abuses. I can't, they're signing these massive arms deals with Egypt, and they weren't supposed to, or you know what I'm saying, right? But and it's just, I guess they're playing to the highest bidder, I guess, eh?
Yeah. Human rights abuses aren't going to keep anybody from selling arms, especially the United States. I mean, look at Central America, Central and South America, right? How many dictatorships there? I mean, the Shah of Iran, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had 200 F-4 Phantoms and a whole bunch of American tanks and artillery and other equipment, and no, it doesn't stop them. It's like the arms races of it's funny, someone mentioned before the Great War, right? Like all of the large arms dealers of Europe and America were going around competing with each other to sell weapons to every tin pot dictatorship in the third world that wasn't a colony of one of the other great powers, which of course half the world was at that time. It was just constant intrigues to try to see who got to build the next battle cruiser for such and such king or president for life. Mm-hmm. And you just see more of it now. No, human rights has got nothing to do with it. It's all talk. They don't care. Money's money.
So there it is. There's people defying. So we're seeing all these protests. Where there's about 52 protests, different protests we mentioned tonight. 52 different ones happening, and I could tell you 52 different lockdowns happening on other parts of the world. So it's so But I think if this whole COVID thing didn't come in and they locked down the world and stuff, I think we would be at the pinnacle, at the height of all the protests all over the world.
Oh, I think we would have been anyway. If anything, COVID slowed them down, Mike. Remember 2019, before the lockdowns, right? You had the big protests and demonstrations in Chile, right?
That's
And
right.
and
Huge.
Beirut.
In Argentina,
Yeah.
week after.
Argentina, yeah.
Venezuela.
All the places, but the usual nonsense was coming to a head once again. And people out in the streets, the Gilets jaunes in Paris, and all over France.
And then
really.
we had what's that country with the big Lebanon, massive protests there too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Beirut, Lebanon, big protests there, hyperinflation and the usual misgovernance and the rest of it. People get angry. And yeah, there's going to be riots in the streets, and this time around you could slow them down a little bit, but that just means they're out in the street with a mask. They're going to be out there. They're going to turn out. The powers that be have got some problems. They do. That everything is not going their way. They're they're scratching their heads, wondering what to do. Do we just let the whole thing collapse, or are we going to let it limp along a little while? I don't think they're on schedule. I think a few things have thrown them off. If COVID was deliberately released, it was an act of desperation. I don't think it was. It was talked about, but remember that these things are always done at least according to a schedule, and a cult schedule, right? Because the whole thing is symbols and numbers. That's how they work, and I don't think that was done on schedule. I think it was desperation. Because I've maintained that there's conflict within the elites too. There's a civil war going on among them as well, and I think that there are people like Russia, reputedly, has paid off all of its debt and is no longer beholden to a Russian central bank. So automatically, they're marked for death. The problem is who you're going to get to take them out, right? I mean, on a certain level, yes, they communicate and work together, but they don't love each other. And when you've got ultimate power within your own, massive country, no, you kind of like it.
Guys, take a look at this. When I was
you're
just
not
talking
playing
about
sharesies.
when I was talking about oil earlier, I see $100 barrel. This is what I'm seeing, guys. What the other news is in reporting: Yemen fires missiles at Saudi Aramco oil facility in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. So Yemen's military says it launched missile attack against Saudi Arabia's Aramco oil facility in the kingdom's Red Sea of the city of Jeddah. So there it is right there. You're going to see a lot of tensions, and they're going after the oil. I'm telling you, people, they're going after the oil.
Yeah, well, there was a Saudi facility that got hit with missiles, I think, shortly before this COVID thing too, wasn't there? Wasn't it in late 2019? There was I think it was actually video of a missile strike.
Yes, there was. And then they kind of made it look like, and they blamed America, and then they blamed China, and then they blamed...
Yeah. It didn't seem to have had a huge or at least lasting effect on the oil price. I don't know. Obviously, people that are oil traders and bulk buyers and sellers will understand more of the logistics and what's going on and have a better idea what's going on the ground. But it seems to me that if you had, say, Israel and Saudi Arabia and the UAE and Qatar have kind of a military, at least an unspoken military alliance as a counterbalance to Iran, I would think that would help stabilize oil prices, considering how much comes out of that area, especially through the Strait of Hormuz. Right? I mean, Iran has enough conventional missiles and little swarms, little gunboats and stuff. There's no question they could close the Strait of Hormuz for a little while, but that would be a total conventional war, and the U.S. and everyone else involved would just bomb the living crap out of them. So it would be a matter of, are maybe they trying to provoke the Iranians to do something, kind of like Pearl Harbor, right? Japan was provoked to attack the United States.
So a lot of people don't know this. Speaking of Japan being provoked, did you know that Germany was being provoked to invade Poland?
Yes.
Did you know that Poland invaded Germany like a month before Germany invaded Poland? A lot of people don't know that Poland invaded Germany first.
There was, yeah, that's right. Well, there was the land corridor that ended at the free city of Danzig that was given to Poland as access to the sea after the end of World War I. And yeah, there was a native German population there that was being harassed, definitely. And the Poles, considering that they had been living under German and Austrian and Russian dominion for the better part of 130 years at that point, you could see how there would be some kind of lasting hostility as well. But there were Polish troops. I think the region was called Teschen. It was a district, and the Poles had moved in and taken it.
And the British betrayed them because the British were hoping that would spark a war. And I spoke to a Polish historian who told me, who watches our channel, and he told me, Mike, you're right. Poland did invade Germany first, but they were betrayed by the British because the British were supposed to back them, and the British backed down.
The British backed down. They weren't ready for war.
No.
Yeah, they simply weren't. There was no will. Nobody was interested in another great war. I'm not even convinced that Germany was. It's just that they had no oil, and they were surrounded. That's part of the reason that their arms buildup was so profound before the First World War. You know, the policy, the German foreign policy after German unification had been to maintain an alliance with Russia and Austria. But after the Kaiser sacked Bismarck in 1890, give or take, I think, he kind of let that alliance with Russia lapse, and then Russia was promptly scooped up as an ally by the British and French empires. So from that point on, yes, the Germans, you could see why they felt surrounded, and again, like I said, they had no oil. There was a lot of foodstuffs that they had to import, and the Royal Navy was a threat, and obviously the large powers on both of their frontiers were a threat. So that's part of the reason. I mean, it was part of Prussian tradition that you maintained a large army because Prussia, the original nucleus of modern Germany, was just a flat plain with a couple of rivers. They had no natural defenses, so they always had to be armed to the teeth.
David F. is saying, Mike Martins, why are you not paying attention to your chat? Are your streams just about talking to a few people for a half an hour or 3/4 of an hour at a time? What about your viewers here? I'm watching everything that's going up the stream. Everything. I'm watching all you guys talk. And that's preparing me for next week's show, what we should be talking about, what people are talking about in the chat, and kind of looking at... I do read out a lot of comments as we go through here. People are welcome to call in, right?
That's the big thing. Call in.
Yeah, David F. Call in next week. Next Mike, just call in.
Yeah, don't be shy, man. Absolutely. It does kind of. I pick things out of the chat too sometimes when I see them.
Yeah.
I try to keep people involved where I can as well. It just kind of depends on where the conversation goes. But again, I'm talking to Mike on a delay, and I'm looking at the chat on a delay too. So sometimes I don't answer any. I don't get a chance to answer any queries either.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, it's 3 hours. I'm tired. We will talk. We'll get you. We'll have another show next week. We'll have a lot of first-time callers on next week, and I'm gonna give you guys a plug to the show, and not a plug. I'm gonna leave you a link for next week's show if you guys don't mind coming on next week again. And we want to get more first-time callers on if that's okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys, some of you have been here for quite a while. Please don't be bashful. Call in.
Call in. I mean, especially if you're on lockdown and you're between jobs or looking for a job, a lot of people are worried what their boss would say if they hear them. Don't worry. According to YouTube, no one watches this channel.
Yeah. No sweat, David. No worries. I assumed it was a genuine question. Yeah. That's the thing, guys. Like, let's have as many voices as possible on here. I mean, I love chatting with Mike, and I love to interact with you guys in the comments. I enjoy it here a lot, but we need more voices, boots on the ground, right? We're getting calls from all over the world, and that's wonderful. Be nice if somebody would call in from Iceland. If you got so many people watching.
I do have a lot of people. They email me and they message me on Skype. Lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I agree, Raven. Tig should call in. Give us the lowdown.
Yeah, Tig should call in. Even John Wayne. John Wayne just woke up.
John Wayne, Rosie, yeah.
Yeah, we should get him on the show, too. It's very important, Get everyone next week on Mike in the Night. We'll do some call-ins. And then in the midsummer, we could do a Mike in the Night-a-thon, 6-hour show.
It's been a while, hey? It's been a year or two since you did one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Should do a call-in-a-thon, and everybody can come in and say their piece.
Yeah.
Probably just put in the community tab beforehand. Just put 5 or 6 stock questions that everyone answers when they come on.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're not sure what to talk about, then they've got answers for those questions.
Yeah.
And then you just call in and everybody can give their take on it.
All right.
We could cycle through a lot of people doing that.
We did that for the 2020 predictions. We got in 40 callers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a wild show. It was great. Oh, it's great to hear from all of you.
All right, Supremo, we'll get you on soon enough. Sooner than you think.
Sure, yeah, anytime, man.
It's warming up out there. Come and visit me maybe in April.
It's supposed to get sunny pretty soon here. I think all this week is looking good, so I think you'll see me before the end of the month.
Yes. We'll make a video together, okay?
Yeah, it's been too long. We need to do that.
All right, Supreme, God bless you.
Okay, bud. God bless everyone. We'll chat soon.
Bye.
Bye.
That is Supreme Cannon. We should get him to host another Mike in the Night show. Last time Mike in the Night actually, he did a whole Mike in the Night here, sitting here in my office. So maybe we should get him in to do a whole Mike in the Night show that one night. Okay, so that's that right there, guys. I'm going to plug next week's show. It goes to 10. Okay, let's go here. Guys, next week, Mike in the Night. I'll leave you a link in the comments. Go ahead and leave... Go ahead and check that out, guys, if you get a minute, and go here and set your reminders to next week's show. I really appreciate it. Anyways, it is Mike in the Night, guys. It's 3 a.m., and something is moving you. Where's my Mike in the Night song? Why isn't it playing? Man, I'm having problems opening stuff. I don't know if I got a virus or I got something going on this damn computer. Wow, it's got to load it. It's the computer, guys, not the internet. Yeah, baby. Thank you, Mr. Singh. Thank you, Ben Savage. Mr. Reich, Supreme Cannon, The Raven, David F. Grindhouse Cartoons, it's artbydano.net. Craig Cook, Supreme Cannon, Ralphie.co.New Zealand, Mitch Madden, Tick Nim, John 34, John 23Z. What else we got? Who else we got? Jack Frost. We got the Lady Lacey Show. We'll get her on next week. Linny Poo, we'll try and get her on next week. John Wayne, it's 7 a.m. in Germany. So we need John Wayne in Germany to wake up early for the show next week. We got, who else we got? We got Mitch, we said Mitch, V-Man 293, Rizzy Khan, David F. What do we got here? Grindhouse Cartoons. I'm trying to see if there's anyone else. Tay Lawton, Amalia da Silva. Amalia da Silva. Who else we got on here? Anna Key. All right, folks, take care. And if you can't take care, please stay safe. Thank you for watching. I have